All right.
Alright. Alright. It's been a very long time since we've done one of
It
these.
definitely
How long
has.
ago was it?
God, it's
Five,
been about
6 months?
6 months, maybe. And that was the
Half a year?
failed Personacast that we did.
Hey, we had that one part that was awesome as hell.
It was pretty good. The part where I kept going on about
It,
Risei, though, man, I feel like a total weeaboo now.
I think that was in the part we didn't get to up.
That was in, like, probably part 5 of 6. That was, like, an hour long apiece.
Five. I didn't edit it into five. I was going to do it two parts.
And only one of them
maybe
got out.
3. Hey, that wasn't my fault.
I know it's
though.
super
Anyway,
not your fault.
Anyways, this is a podcast, if you have no idea. We did this once. By the way, I'm Mason. That's Dreu.
Hi.
We did this once before, mainly talking about Persona 4. You can go watch the first part of what was supposed to be at least a 3-part series on my YouTube channel. That's going to be on. This is going up on.
Don't expect that one to ever be finished, though.
No, it's not.
Unless if we're just so bored out of our minds that we just want to redo it, which that is a possibility, but we're probably not going to.
That is you being bored out of your mind. I want to redo it because now I want to talk about Persona 3.
Oh,
but you have to beat Persona 3, and I have to beat Persona 5.
I have yet to even touch Persona 3, so but that's a total discussion for another day. Today, though, what are we talking about, Mason?
We're talking about Pokemon.
What kind of Pokemon?
We're talking about Pokemon generations 1 through 3.
Are we talking specifically Gen 1, 2, and 3 in the video games, or the anime, or what are we doing here?
We might be delving into the anime a bit. Honestly, I don't remember much of the anime besides Kanto.
That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head, other than the stupid little baseball girl in Gen 2 with the Chikorita. God, that was bad.
Well, the theme songs have always been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Advanced Battle, by the way, best theme.
Do what?
Advanced Battle, best
theme.
Oh,
yeah, Advanced Battle is the best
season.
theme. I still like Johto's regular theme the best. Not the best, but after that, though.
Oh, Johto has great themes all
Like, the
around.
first, 4 themes of Pokemon was just so good. It was way too good.
The first 8, because Orange Islands was alright. It was still an alright good song, though. So first 8 themes were great, because all of Johto was good, all of Hoenn was good.
I don't remember I honestly don't remember the Orange Islands having their own specific theme.
Oh yeah, it started off with "So you want to be a master of Pokemon?"
Oh yeah.
I
do remember that.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. But what we're mainly going to be discussing is the video games, generations 1 through 3.
Yes.
Why is that? Because it's the only 3 generations both of us like.
Yeah. Well, I like, to be honest, we're not going to say anything further than this because we're not going to talk about it yet. But I do like Sun and Moon. Vanilla Sun and Moon.
You traitor.
Sorry.
That's fine. So here's the criteria that we're going to be doing. There's only one specific thing that we're going to be doing for the first generation we're not doing for the other 2. And that's going to be glitches, because I only know 2 glitches in Gen 2 and none in 3. Besides, half the fun of Generation 1 is the glitches. So.
Yeah.
But we're going to be talking about our favorite and least favorite Pokemon of the generations. We're going to be talking about the gym leaders and how we feel about them.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about our favorite and least favorite music tracks in the generation. And we're going to be talking about personal memories that we have of the... Not necessarily in that order, though. So.
Nah.
I guess we could start off with personal memories, because starting off with Generation 1,
Oh, yeah.
You probably grew up... Well, I mean, we both grew up, but you probably grew up a little bit earlier.
I don't know.
than
I don't
did
think
with
I've
it.
ever grown up, honestly, to this point in my life.
Well, neither have I, but... I mean, you were probably there a little bit before me, so I guess we can talk about what it was like to be a Pokemon fan back then.
Oh, geez, being a Pokemon fan was, to me, the coolest thing ever.
That is true. What started you on Pokemon? Was it the first generation or was it
It was definitely the first.
any of
That
the
was
other?
where I started. The first time I ever seen it, I watched the anime back when it was becoming a big thing in North America. Of course, I was like, man, I think it was like 5 or 6 maybe when that was a thing. Um, man, but I had a lot of fun, after that playing the game. The biggest part about it, though, I remember being an issue because we weren't exactly a rich family at the time. Game Boys, man, I don't even remember how much they went for back then. That's such a distant memory. Do you know how
I
much?
think Game Boys have always went for like anywhere from 99 to 150.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but back then that's still pretty
Yeah,
expensive.
back compared to today. Oh yeah, but
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I do remember constantly pestering my mother about it. And I think for Christmas one year she got me that, and I think it was red. No, it was blue version. I remember it being blue version. But I was
Wow.
super jealous of my buddy who lived next door to me at that time. He had the yellow version, the Pikachu Special Edition thing, to where the game changed colors all the time, and you had Pikachu constantly following you. I was a dumb kid at the time. I was all like, "Oh yeah, Pikachu's so cool." Of course, now I'm like, Pikachu's the most overrated piece of trash. But because
Raichu is
I
good.
was about to say, if you talk to a single teenager and you say Pikachu, you ask them about it, and they're like, "Yeah, I know who that is. I know who Pikachu is." But it's like, do you know who uh, like Jigglypuff is? They're probably gonna be like, "No, I don't know." Unless they've seen the anime, then they probably know. Then go more specific and be like, "Do you know who Porygon is?" Definitely not, because
Unless you're a Japanese child,
they
Japanese person, you definitely know Porygon.
especially a Japanese child at the time that episode was being aired. Oh boy.
I I can't wait because I watch a Pokemon Abridged series. By the way, subtle plug to Pokemon Bridged. It's insane. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. I can't. I want to see them do that. That
Ooh,
episode. That would be
man.
amazing. But it's you were jealous. You wanted yellow version then, because
Because I thought it was.
dump.
I didn't think it was. Well, I guess I did at the time think it was better, but today I'm like, I don't really care. But the thing I liked the most, though, about it was the fact that you could get every starter. It did not matter, uh, you know, because you always got Pikachu when you started the game. So to me, it did not matter. I wanted that one, but I never got it. And so years, like 2 decades later, here we are. And I'm playing Pokemon Yellow on an emulator at getting everything. And so
Uh,
it's to me it doesn't really matter anymore because they're gonna release 2 Pokemon games of the same variety anyways, unless if the next Switch game for Pokemon is gonna be a massive like put together of all the regions, which I doubt, but that's something I've always wanted.
I
But that's for another discussion for another day.
Here's a quick fun fact about Jigglypuff in the anime, because once you said Jigglypuff, it reminded me of that. That's a shiny Jigglypuff.
In the anime, the one drawing the mustaches on people.
It's shiny Jigglypuff.
What makes you?
Even si- Even since the first episode it appeared in, it's a shiny Jigglypuff. You can tell. In fact, I'm gonna look it up and send it over to you because I'm almost 90% sure that I heard somewhere it's a shiny Jigglypuff.
Huh? I have no idea. I've honestly no idea. Oh yes, to the viewers right here right now, if you can hear like a car or something in the back, I have the windows open because it's actually really nice outside. So if you hear like a car or something go by, that's what that will be.
You may very well possibly be able to hear my fan on, but that's because it's hot. So
Yeah, personally, I don't
don't
hear anything, but that doesn't mean the viewer won't when we put this out. I'm sure you'll have music playing anyways. You know, it's a podcast, not a music cast, Mason.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have the music playing. Well, here's a picture of Jiggly. I gotta first download it first, but
Oh boy.
this where is Jigglypuff? Or maybe I could just look in the trivia section real quick of Bulbapedia. I'm sure these.
Personally, I've never heard of that ever being a thing, and I've never really thought about it because that character's comic relief in the series.
I might be wrong, actually. I thought I heard something about it, and I kind of took it as facts.
Oh boy!
You know, if I actually find out for certain, I'll post. I'll make a quick note.
Mm-hmm. Well, back to the thing here, because I know we're going to constantly be getting sidetracked. Not as much as the Persona podcast because comics, but
no. No.
Probably.
Yeah, there are no good No, it's not a shiny. Actually, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
The thing I remember doing the most, though, I've always started out with Squirtle. Not Squirtle, but Bulbasaur. Because
there we go. I was about to say
because I'm always like that's the best way to start, because if you start out with Charmander, it's like playing the game in hard mode. You gotta grind so hard first before you're even really able to do anything to Brock, unless you catch a bunch of other Pokemon. Which at the time I was really stupid, and I'm like, I don't want to fight all these Pokemon. I just want to catch them. So I just caught the Pokemon, never really fought anything to level up. So
you go fight Brock with a level 7 Bulbasaur.
Yeah, and so I would do that, but I think by then it'd have a grass type move. I could be wrong.
It gets Leech Seed at level 8, and I think it gets Vine Whip at 12.
Okay, because I always thought the grinding was boring, because it is, especially if you don't have the GBA emulator. It's a slow process, because the GBA emulator you can just speed up like to so fast, like 600 frames a second. That's how fast it goes. It just skips so fast.
But after playing Pokemon for so long, it kind of becomes second nature.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured that out because I'm not a stupid kid anymore.
I barely notice when I start grinding when I start needing to grind a Pokemon anyway.
Yeah. The biggest memory though would be the time I put into it. Man, I think I'd say probably 600 hours just into Blue.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Like, I've never deleted a save file. I remember I think I got Red, and I kept deleting that one because I always wanted to try other Pokemon, like other starters. Because I didn't have 2 Game Boys to just trade them off to each other. Otherwise I would have done that.
Right.
But that's what I would do with Red version. Blue version, I would just put tons of time into. Like, but I'd normally...
the Elite Four over and over again?
Yeah. Like, normally, what I would do in my Red version, instead of catching everything, I would literally just freaking tank my Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur, whatever I started with, as soon as I would just level the crap out of it. And then, like, once it's, like, level 12, I'll go to the first gym and then, like, level 5 more times for the next one. And I'd tank the shit out of it. And,
just like a real kid.
Yeah, and then head right into that gym and just destroy everything. But I wouldn't use any other Pokemon. I would just use that one. I would not use any others. And no, I've never once played Nuzlocke in a Pokemon game ever.
I've done a Nuzlocke a couple times.
I've heard it's very difficult.
I will tell you of my very one memorable... No, actually 2, because it involves Gen 1 and Gen 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you later on in the podcast, though. Did you ever play or even collect any of the cards?
The trading card games?
Yeah, did you ever play or collect it?
Don't get me started. I still kind of collect those to this day, actually.
But did you ever play it, is what I'm asking.
I played the trading card game they had for the Game Boy, but I never had actually, like, played it with anybody ever, because no one knew how to play it, because there was, like, no rule sheets or anything with it, so I'm just like, guess I'll just let it sit here, because at the time I didn't have that game when like the card game was first coming out in North
Yeah,
America.
they didn't really explain the rules very well with the card game. Yu-Gi-Oh! They explained the
Yu-Gi-Oh
rules
did it the
better
best
because
because that's what the show thrived
you
off
had an
of.
anime. Yeah, you had an anime to go off the rules with.
Exactly.
Even though the anime rules are not the same as the actual card game rules,
Oh,
from what I've
Jesus
heard.
Christ. Of course it's not.
No, because do you know how many times Yu-Gi would have broken the fucking rules? Too goddamn many.
Yugi's rage quitting is when he just yells Yu-Gi-Oh! Because he's had enough of being a little bitch, so he has to transform into a man that's like 5 feet taller than him, so that he can feel like a better person for winning.
It's technically cheating. It's having another person play for you.
Exactly.
But I guess we can delve. If you're done, I don't know if you're done.
Yeah,
yet.
dude, you go. You get the memories out there.
My memories, man. Well, I was 4 years old when I was introduced to the first 2 video games of my life.
Yeah.
Ever. And it was Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, and it was Pokemon Blue.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Corey gave me his cartridge of Pokemon Blue.
Yeah.
When I was 4, and of course, being a stupid kid who had never played Pokemon before, never even seen Pokemon at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of didn't like the anime because, believe it or not, I didn't like the anime because it wasn't like the game.
Yeah.
And then again, for a good couple of years, I did not delete that save file off that blue cartridge. I just kept going up against the Elite Four over and over and over and over and over and over. I beat the Elite Four fucking hundreds of times.
Really?
So I saw that ending, and I heard that ending theme so many times, man. Trust me, it got even worse when I actually went into the PC and found the legendaries that Corey had.
Oh boy.
And then there's this one kid. Well, not kid. He was more of like a late teen, maybe even adult. I'm not sure, 18 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He traded me to my cartridge a level 100 Mew.
Uh-huh.
And now looking back, I'm pretty sure he hacked it. I'm pretty sure he hacked it, and I'll tell you why when we get to Gen 2.
Okay.
But that thing was level 100, and being the stupid kid I was, I just taught it like Fly, Surf, Thunderbolt, and Psychic, and I was like, yeah!
Full power.
And so that was the only Pokemon I used for years until I finally decided I wanted to actually try playing this.
Uh-huh.
Because by that point I had played Gold. Didn't really get too far in Gold. And I think Emerald had just come out. And so I decided I wanted to go back. And so I ended up playing Blue. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
Did collect a lot of the cards. Never even attempt to play the card game. I had a lot of cards though.
Yeah.
And in freaking elementary, middle, even up in the early year of middle school.
Yeah.
Those Pokemon cards were like crack cocaine in school.
Oh my god, they were just almost as bad as the Yu-Gi-Oh cards at the time.
Oh no, around here they were worse. You'd get some attention in school for having a Blue Eyes White Dragon, or my brother Roger had a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and a Slifer the Sky Dragon. So
jeez.
he was a pretty cool kid.
Mm-hmm.
If you had the Pokemon cards, man, you were almost the king of the school. And I never had the good cards, so nobody liked me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have one friend now that we actually became friends because I had the 3 legendary birds, and he thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, but those were like my best cards.
I don't know if I even have any legendary bird cards. Honestly, I think I might have a Zapdos.
Around the time Gen 2 was just starting to come around, though.
Yeah.
I knew one kid who had a Japanese Umbreon. And that kid was the king of the school for a long time.
Oh boy. Man,
Yeah.
to be that young again and that stupid.
That young, man. Flashbacks. But so that's my experience with the Gen 1 and like my memories. It's really the nostalgia that keeps me going back to Gen 1 because
Yeah.
I think back of all the fun times I had with it, the fact that I got it from my brother,
Uh-huh.
and just man, it's and then when you grow up and you start realizing you start taking an appreciation for the little things like the music. You don't really pay attention to that as a kid.
Not really, no.
Nah.
No.
I guess that's an excellent segue into the music.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, though, young people aren't gonna really notice a lot unless they already have, like, a keen eye for noticing things such as art or music or any form of art in general. Like, they're not gonna notice, like, if they get just a card with Articuno on it, for example, and it's holographic. All they're gonna see is the holographic. They're not gonna the holographic like design on it, but they're not gonna see like if the holographic comes to a shape of any kind. Like sometimes it'll be like like the symbol for ice types or something like that.
Right.
It's not. They're not gonna see that. They're just gonna be like, oh, it's shiny, and that's normally all they know about it, and they'll go on with their lives.
Well, when we were kids, we used to judge if it wasn't a really super good Pokemon like a Legendary or a Dragonite or something,
Yeah.
we would judge the card based on how cool the card looked. I mean, we didn't pay attention to any of the actual detail or anything. We were just like, "Oh wow, that Pikachu looks cool on the card. It's a cool card."
Well, like even if like the Pokemon on the actual picture of the card, there's sometimes like a lot of notable stuff in the background for it, and that's also something that a lot of people don't appreciate either.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you start looking at the cards nowadays, and you start seeing the things that you missed.
Exactly, because I
Right.
got a new binder for all of mine, and I was looking through all of my cards. I looked at every single one, like maybe a year or two ago when I got a new binder, and boy, I noticed all that art is kind of clever. Some of those cards, though, have some of the most oddest designs I've ever seen, though.
I'm still wondering why in Japan the Misty's Tears card had just a naked Misty holding Staryu.
Oh boy, that'll be one to show the audience for the little thing here.
Oh no, it's silhouetted. It's shadowed out, and you can't. The only reason you can tell Misty is because Misty's pretty noticeable, but it's pretty also easy to tell that she's naked. It's just it's like Shadow Misty. So you're like, but I'm starting to even wonder why that art design in the first place.
Because she loves to be naked in water? I don't know. I just know that she likes to...
She's 10.
I know she likes to just, let Staryu have her way with her or whatever.
Oh my god. She's 10.
I don't care.
Jesus Christ.
I don't care.
Oh my lord.
This is where this is going, everybody.
Oh my god.
Thank you for tuning in to Mason's podcast. This was his idea.
We're not done.
No, we're super not done though. Don't go.
Christ.
Don't go away, people.
No, dude, they're not gonna go. They might go. I don't know.
After that remark, probably. I don't pull punches, just so everybody knows past this point.
We're both slightly insane.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Segue into the music here, though.
Yeah. Do you have any tracks from Gen 1 that stand out in particular for being either really good or getting on your nerves?
A lot of them actually get on my nerves. I'm not a very big 8-bit music type of person. Take note that I also despise Persona 5's 8-bit music, and it's got like 7 tracks on it, I think, 5 or 7.
But wait, hold on a second. Isn't one of Persona 5's 8-bit music the frickin' Juness theme for like the crane game you showed me that one time?
I don't think it's an 8-bit song though, but that's not one of the ones I hate. Like I'm talking about, like in Persona 5, you play video games, and they have their own music, and you can appreciate them being there if you're playing the game, because you're not going to hear it because the game's you actually interact with those in the game. But I'm not a big fan of the music itself. Like every time those come on the soundtrack, I have to skip past them. I can't listen to them because they give me a migraine. I just think they're really loud and obnoxious. But if I had to pick a song though, specifically from this game, Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow, that annoys me the most. Man, because it is kind of a tough one. I think it's... God, I can't even remember the name of the fucking town. It's like I should have played this game before we did this or something.
I listened to the soundtracks.
It's the one with the stupid tower. With the
Lavender Town?
That, Jesus God. Like, I don't know, it's probably the like, it sounds like a clock to me.
The creepypastas.
Just through the whole freaking song, it doesn't let up.
Well, Lavender Town does a fantastic job of being creepy.
I mean, I understand it's the atmosphere of what it's supposed to be doing, but man, it drives me crazy.
I still don't understand how Lavender Town specifically inspired all those creepypastas, though, when the Pokemon Tower theme itself is far creepier.
Oh, do they have two different themes? I can't remember.
Yeah, the Pokemon Tower has a different thing. Has a different theme. I can't hum it off the top of my head because I was humming it in my head, and I started going with the Team Rocket bass theme, and it's like, that's not it. Also, I hate that song. It really gets on my nerves. That and the Silphco theme song really get on my nerves. Everything else, really the cave music, Viridian Forest's music, and the two I just named are the only songs in that game I don't like. Mm-hmm. Everything else is perfectly fine, but then again, I like 8-bit music.
Yeah, it's like when you get to these places, man, I just want to get through this so I can never hear this again until I play the game again.
I love 8-bit. If I had to choose one song in that entire soundtrack that I think is the best, besides the ending, because that's ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
It would actually have to be Gary's theme. Like, not the champion battle theme, just he'll show up randomly, how the it's like, holy shit, that's awesome. This douche nugget.
I get his music because he's a douche, because I'm a douche. So therefore it's relatable to me, so I can understand this annoying music being played when this guy randomly pops up when you haven't killed your Pokemon and you could potentially find
out. You don't like the 8-bit music, and that's perfectly fine. Some people like it, some people don't. How do you feel about the remake, though, the Fire Red Leaf Green music?
Jesus, don't talk about those because I don't remember. I played one of those. I remember having them specifically for my old 3DS, and then like an idiot I got rid of it, and I honestly super regret it because those games are so high priced now. It's absurd how high priced they are. But you
can't play Fire Red Leaf Green on 3DS.
Do what?
You can't play Fire Red Leaf Green on 3DS. You mean old DS?
Oh, was it the old DS? Actually, yeah, it wasn't the Game Boy, was it?
It was the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of Gold and Silver. That's what it was.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. My bad. But
the GBA remakes.
I remember having those and playing them, but I don't remember a whole lot because it's the same game, just looks better. It looks like Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire.
Well, yeah, because obviously it's Gen 3, so.
Oh boy, wait till we get to the music of Gen 3, because then I'll never shut the fuck up.
If I can just say it real quickly. No, I should probably wait till Gen 2
Just wait till
and
we
3.
get there.
Yeah, I'll just wait till we get there.
We're gonna get there eventually.
So, we talked a little bit about the. It's hard to talk. It's hard to talk about the music when one guy loves most of the soundtrack, and the other guy doesn't. So,
I have some stuff I like on there. It's just there's not a lot that I like. Jump out at.
Well, why don't you say some of the ones you like?
The ones I like the most is Champion Battle of the Elite Four.
Of course.
That's, I mean, it's the most climactic one in every game. There's a reason I like it. It's because it actually is climactic sounding.
That is true.
And then, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what it is about most of them. I like the surf themes. I don't know why I like them, though.
The surf themes are pretty cool.
I don't think that they're supposed to be relaxing, and I get that vibe from them. That's.
Just wait till we get to Gen 3, though.
Oh yeah, That's why I'm not gonna shut up.
This podcast is now going to be 3 hours, just Gen 3.
Just Gen 3 for 3 hours.
Gen 3's music.
That sounds like torture, Jesus. And then of
torture
course,
to edit or torture to listen to.
Of course the gym battles, league battles, gym leader battles. There we go. If I can talk straight. I think those are really good too. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of especially the main battle theme, because you just tear it over and over.
Honestly, Gen 1's gym leader battle theme.
Really? I don't remember it being that awful, but
no,
like I said, I haven't listened to it or played a lot of it recently.
It's not that it's awful. It's just that Gen 2's does it so much better with the remix, I swear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, you have to do, like, a comparison between the two. And, like, I guarantee you'll find Gen 2's Kanto leader battle to be superior.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's so hype.
Now I remember Kanto being in Gen 2, but like I said, I know they did remixes. It's still an 8-bit soundtrack, but it's so much better in Gen 2.
Lavender Town's 8-bit. No, not 8-bit. It is 8-bit. Excuse me. Lavender Town's fucking. Hold on a second.
Music in Gen 2.
My Audacity. Yeah, that's okay. My Audacity screwed up for a second. And by screwed up, I mean it just went up and I couldn't see my audio recording for a second.
Oh.
It was recording, I just couldn't see it.
Okay, I normally go back and forth to check mine sometimes just to see if it's still going.
Oh yeah, I have it open and I have it right here in front of me. It's just for some reason the little scroll bar thing scrolled up to a point where I couldn't see the audio.
Ah.
But no, Lavender Town's Gen 2 theme, first off, throughout the entire series...
Should we really talk about this here in Gen 1 section?
Well, I mean, technically...
But it is in Gen 2 because that's that game.
You do have a point there.
I do have a point, you're right.
I just want to explode all over Gen 2's soundtrack, okay?
Well, we're gonna get there, we just gotta barrel through this real quick.
Yeah, we have to get through the rest. We have to get through our favorite and least fan to gym leaders.
Yeah. Jesus, are we gonna say we have favorite gym leaders? Because I don't. The only one I remember is Giovanni.
I wasn't gonna say our favorite or least favorite gym leader. I was just gonna say, what do you think of the gym leaders?
I don't think they're bad. The only one I didn't care for is Erica. I don't know what it is about her. I think it's because she wears the yukata. Maybe she could wear something different.
She does wear that. Once you start playing Japanese stuff and you start realizing, holy shit, it is a yukata.
Yeah, it is. Exactly.
I thought it was just a nice little robe she was wearing.
Also, I'm not a big fan of Gloom.
Well, Gloom just looks derpy as hell.
Yeah. I mean, for fuck's sake, though, Brock just has a rock.
He has a rock and a rock snake.
A rock with arms and a rock snake.
If he had a second Geodude, that would have been perfect to describe his entire character.
Yeah, those two Geodudes, though, you could say they're his testicles.
That's what I was trying to say without saying it. You ruined it. You asshole.
You're welcome.
God damn it. But no, I love how really the only thing memorable about Brock, like Brock's gym, is after you beat the fucking the junior trainer, and he's like, "You're pretty hot, but not as hot as Brock." It's like, oh my.
Hey, at least I have eyes. That's what you throw in that kid's face.
Brock opened them once.
Did he really?
I have seen the picture and it looks creepy as shit. It's more of him like doing that stupid thing where like you go nah, and you pull down your eyelids or open your eyelids. And,
that sounds
but still,
awful.
you can see his eyes and it's creepy.
So did they ever even say anything about that? Like, I don't think that's a thing, and most characters have an anime nowadays. Like their eyes closed. Is he some kind of like ninja with Pokemon?
I got no idea. I still don't understand the reasoning behind it.
He must have some super good hearing. I'd hate for him to be hit by a screech from a Zubat.
Oh God. And Brock and Misty are making a return for an episode or two in the Sun and Moon anime, which is the only reason I want to see that anime now.
Guess what? I still don't care.
But it's Brock.
I still don't care.
Like, everybody's hyped up about Misty returning, and I'm like, you guys are forgetting Brock.
Dude, I would prefer the characters I never watched, such as May and Brendan, or Brendan, or whatever his face is.
Well, Brendan never showed up in the anime.
I thought he did.
No, it was just May.
Oh. Well,
I don't know why it was just May.
I would totally just prefer May than over Misty. I can tolerate May more.
I think May, in the Gen 4 anime, I think she made a return for a contest.
Did she?
I think. I could be thinking of Gen 5. I have no idea. I think Gen 5 Dawn made a return. It's weird. I haven't watched the anime. I haven't seriously watched the anime since Gen 3 ended. I've been on and off.
I watched it maybe 2 years ago, but that was 2 years ago. I've slept since then.
You have been in hibernation.
Yes.
You just woke up 30 minutes ago and decided to do this podcast.
Yep. So, we're done with Brock. Are we just going to go down the list of leaders, or are we just going to be like, yeah, fuck this one, fuck that one?
Well, I mean, we are going to have to go into a little bit of detail in Gen 2, because you know who.
Yep.
But no, really, none of the gym leaders... The only gym leaders I distinctly remember are Surge and Sabrina.
I was about to say.
Fuck their gym puzzles.
Yeah, I remember Sabrina because of the dumb puzzle and Surge, but the one I particularly liked the most, though, was Blaine. I don't know what it is about him. I just think he's a cool-looking old man. He's just a simple old man with a stick and uses a Magmar.
Have you seen his redesign for Gen 4?
No.
The Heart Gold, so he looks like a fucking pimp.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got a sweet pimpin' outfit, he's got his hat on, and he's got the cane.
Oh, is it like purple or something like that?
No, it's not purple. I'm pretty sure.
I'll check real quick.
He looks sweet as fuck. In fact, I want to look at this.
Pokemon Heart Gold.
I'll pop up an image on screen just as soon as we get his reaction.
God, if I can spell, that'd be fantastic too. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Blaine. Images. Jesus Christ, he does look like a pimp. Holy
He
crap.
looks like a goddamn pimp, doesn't he?
He looks like a very mysterious pimp.
He looks like the kind of guy, though. Not only does he look like a pimp, but he also looks like a drug dealer and a cool old man at the same time. He's like, "Hey kids,
yeah, exactly. You want to buy some drugs, boy?"
No, the drugs are Burn Heel. You want to buy some Burn Heel?
Well, guess what? We don't even have any Burn Heel. I have Ice Heel though, because we're a fire gym. If I gave you Burn Heel, that would be like cursing my own name.
He's giving you literally the most useless heal ever.
Burn Heel?
No, Ice Heel.
I was about to say, yeah, you never get frozen hardly ever, even if you're hit by a million ice attacks.
And if
there's
you
barely any ice attacks anyways.
And when you do get frozen, you have full heals at that point. So.
Yeah.
But we have 2 more sections to go. We have the Pokemon, and then we have the glitches.
Well, since I don't know hardly anything about them, let's get the glitches out of the way.
Alright, so Gen 1, if you people have been living under a rock for the last 20 years and don't know anything about Generation 1, Generation 1 is broken. Let me tell you that right now. Its battle system, battle mechanics and stuff,
yeah,
awful, broken.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the AI not only cheats, but is incredibly broken. You know how you can run out of power points for your moves? The AI never runs out of them. Ever.
Yeah.
So the AI will never, ever do struggle. But also, until Gen 2, they fixed that in Gen. Also, if the AI has a super effective move against your type, like let's say one of the common ones is you throw out a Ghastly against one of Lance's Dragonites.
Yeah.
Lance has Agility, which is a Psychic type move.
Mm-hmm.
And Psychic is super effective against Ghastly's half poison type. So Lance will just keep using Agility over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
He will never use a different move. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, through War of Attrition, whittle down one of his Dragonites. Or maybe even both of them, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Toxic and Leech Seed is another good one. If you I think you have to do Leech Seed first, and then you do Toxic. And you know how Toxic will take down more and more health for every turn.
Yeah.
For poison. That also applies to Leech Seed if it's applied with Toxic. It will take more and more health.
Yeah.
Which is broken. It's bullshit. Psychic types are utterly broken because of the special stat being 1 instead of 2. And there are no super effective moves against Psychic types in this generation. It's supposed to be super effective. It's supposed to be super effective against it's supposed to be weak against ghost types. But there are only 2 ghost type moves in the entire game. There's Lick and there's Nightshade. Now Nightshade hits anything, regardless of type, for damage equal to the user's level. So there's no super effective bonus on that.
Yeah.
The problem with Lick comes in is that there's a glitch in the coding that renders ghost types ineffective against psychics instead of super effective.
Yeah.
And so you do have bug types that are still super effective against psychics, but who uses a bug type? Like, you might have Twin Needle on a Jolteon.
Metrosexual hipster. That's who.
Yeah, the metrosexual hipster will use a bug type. You might have Twin Needle on a Jolteon, but that's a big might. So basically, there's nothing that is super effective against psychic types. And their special that is absolutely disturbingly high will wreck you in seconds unless you have another psychic type. And that's just the battle mechanics. And that's just some of them. We have the most famous glitch in all of video games, the missing no glitch. Everybody knows the missing no glitch. Everybody.
I don't know, like, how to do it, but I know of it.
So what you do is basically, I'm gonna do it basically because there's a lot more technical shit I could talk about that I don't actually feel like talking about. I will, if you guys want to learn more of the ins and outs of glitches, I will link two screenshot text Let's Plays that I have read from the Let's Play archive that I absolutely recommend reading, because man, they go in depth. Basically, what you have to do, you have to have a Pokemon with Fly, and you have to have a Pokemon with Surf. You talk to the old man in Viridian City, and you actually go through the catching tutorial. You immediately fly to Cinnabar Island.
Yeah.
And you surf on the east coast of Cinnabar, like making sure your surf sprite is touching the tile.
Yeah.
But still in the water. And what happens is, instead of those specific tiles being written with wild water Pokemon encounters, it's written with whatever encounters you could encounter in the last place you were in, which is how you can catch Safari Zone Pokemon out in the wild. So, if you surf long enough, you'll encounter Missing No. And contrary to popular belief, Missing No is not harmful to your save file whatsoever. I believe M, because they're actually two different things, though they look the same. I believe M also isn't harmful to your save file, but it is more harmful than Missing No.
Yeah.
And if you encounter Missing No or M, you will find that your item in your 6th slot in the bag has been added by 255. So you can get it's not infinite, but you can do it over and over. So you can get infinite rare candies or master balls or all of that. And I don't know why it happens. Again, the Let's Plays probably actually explain that. I'm not sure. You can also, the Safari Zone glitch, this is how you get to Glitch City with the Safari Zone. What you do is, you enter the Safari Zone, you try to leave immediately. Don't even take a single step. Just try to leave, and they'll say, hey, do you want to leave? And you say no. And then you'll be back in the Safari Zone. Don't take a single step. Save the game. Reset your Game Boy. Turn it back on. And then try to leave the Safari Zone. And this time the game will ask you if you want to join the hunt. So it's asking you if you actually want to go into the Safari Zone even though you were already in there. You have to say no. And you can walk around, but you'll still have the invisible step counter of the Safari Zone going. So you can do a lot of stuff with this. One of the most popular things to do is with Glitch City. If you are walking on a route, it's usually a route or a town that has less than like 5 doors or something. When you get called back to the Safari Zone and you automatically leave, like you do at the end of the Safari Zone, you'll be in a whole glitch-tastic overworld that's called Glitch City. And, like, if you don't have a walk through walls code on, you can very easily get stuck in Glitch City. So, if you don't have a Pokemon with Fly and you save your game there and reset, you're stuck forever.
Oh boy.
I know, isn't that fun?
That is fun. So, why would you make a game if it has so many glitches like that?
Well,
there's no way, like, they could have not known about that. That's what testers are for.
That is true, but a lot of these you have to go out of your way to do. Is the thing. You have to go out of your way to do this. This isn't just shit that'll come up in a normal playthrough. You have to actually go out of your way. They could have easily fixed the battle mechanics, yes, but missing no and the Safari Zone glitches and shit, those aren't things that will normally come up in a normal playthrough.
Yeah.
So it's very possible they actually might have missed it because, again, you have to. I don't even know how it was discovered. There's also the Mew glitch, which is also a really famous one. Have you heard of?
Because Mew's not even available in the main game.
That is true. Before the Mew glitch was discovered, you could only get Mew through a special event that was distributed like in the 90s. So you can't do it no more.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure my Mew was Game Sharked, and again, I'll tell you why in Gen 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Mew glitch, what you do, and again, this doesn't come up in normal playthroughs, so they missed that too. Here's a fun story though, is that Mew actually wasn't even supposed to be like in the game at first.
Yeah.
Like even programmed. Like you were only supposed to be able to get it through an event was the original thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Either way, I know that like right before the game was intended to be released, like start production and all that, one of the programmers secretly added Mew into the game. And so, yeah, because taking out, like doing some general fixes of the game freed up just enough space for him to be able to put Mew in there. So Mew literally took up the rest of the space of the cartridge.
Wow.
So yeah, they pushed the cartridges to the limit in Gen 1, and you can tell.
I guess so.
The Mew glitch though is you have to have a Pokemon that either has teleport, so you have to have an Abra, or you have to have a Pokemon with Fly. Now, the easiest way to do this is to use a trainer to the left of the Nugget Bridge in the grass patch.
Mm-hmm.
You have to position yourself to make sure he's one step off screen. So if you step down, he'll be on screen. And you have to position yourself in front of him. You have to step down, immediately press start, so that way the start menu pops up as you see him come into view and, you know, he's facing you and all that.
Yeah.
And you can use the menu and everything. So you have to fly away from him, and then the exclamation point will pop up like, oh shit, we're about to get in a battle.
Yeah.
But you fly away. Now the game still thinks you're in battle mode at this point, so you can't use the start menu or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I like to do, this is the trainer I know of, is I like to walk back up the Nugget Bridge and battle this one specific kid. And he's a youngster that's right in front of like two little trees, and he's facing the mountain.
Yep.
You have any trainer you do this though with, you have to make sure they have enough space to take one step, or else the game will be soft locked. So that kid has a Slowpoke, and you battle the Slowpoke and you beat the Slowpoke, and then you fly or teleport back to Cerulean City.
Yeah.
And then you go back up to the Nugget Bridge again. And this time, as you enter the route, the start menu will just pop up automatically on its own. And if you press B, you'll get in a random battle. And when you do it with the Slowpoke, you'll get a level 7 Mew, because something with Slowpoke's special stat, it's pretty weird. You can do this with a lot of different trainers and a lot of different Pokemon. You'll get a lot of different Pokemon. You'll even get glitch Pokemon and glitch trainers.
That's weird.
It's
like, what kind of glitch trainers?
I know you can use that glitch to fight Professor Oak.
What's Oak got?
Like, Um, I think to fight Professor Oak the way he's supposed to be fought, or was supposed to be fought, you have to uh use a trainer that you. I think you have to use a trainer that you fly away from
Mm-hmm.
that has 5 Pokemon. No more than 5, no less than 5. And then you do the glitch, and then you'll fight Professor Oak, and he has the strongest team. The strongest legitimate team, may I say, because he was supposed to be in the game as, like, the final trainer.
Yeah.
So, he has, like, a Gyarados, an Arcanine, something else, and
Fully
the
evolved shit,
last...
basically.
Yeah, he has whichever starter you or your rival didn't take.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so I'm really actually upset that they didn't. No. You, I think you can do it with the Mew glitch, but the way I was thinking of it, I was wrong. There's a specific Game Shark code that you have to put in, and then you have to fight a trainer that has 5 Pokemon, and then you'll be able to do it.
Jeez,
I don't.
Mason, you fucked up.
Hey, okay, shut up. I haven't actually done it through the Mew glitch. All right, I forgot. All right,
Good Lord, Mason.
dude. You know how long ago I fought Professor Oak. It was once I found out about that, I was like, okay, I gotta do this, and then I never did it again.
Like, was all this shit like the level of Red's Pokemon?
No, but it was higher than Blue's team. It was higher
Ah.
than the rival. So
So they were all about maybe 60 to 70 then.
I think just for example, let's say I think it's Blastoise. Let's say is level 70, early 70s.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not crazy high as Red's was, though. But to be fair, though,
Well,
like
Red's was just the Pikachu, like a level 80 something Pikachu.
you're supposed to be super ready for Red, though, because you went through 2 regions.
You can actually fight Red in the very high 50s and win.
I know, but still,
Oh, it's a challenge, but
like
you can. But
you would be intimidated if you seen that and did that.
exactly. But that's about all the glitches that I know, except the walk through walls one. But I'm not going to go through that because it's too complicated.
Good, because I'm tired of talking about these glitches that I have no clue or knowledge of.
Now let's get into stuff you do have knowledge of. Your
Yeah.
favorite and least favorite Pokemon.
Of Gen 1. Mason, you go
Of
first.
Gen
You
1.
made me go first. A bunch.
I have a specific team that I love to use for Generation 1, and that
So are we
is-
saying teams or Pokemon here? You just said Pokemon. You didn't say teams.
I know. I was thinking like I was thinking because my favorite team that has some of my favorite Pokemon in it, so I just wrote Pokemon. Like, basically, teams that you like to use, and then some Pokemon that you just never use is what I was thinking.
Ah, okay.
I know I didn't write it down very well. I'm horrible at writing.
You could have been like, hey, we're going to say teams. You should get some pen and paper and write this shit.
I know. I'm sorry. It's
God,
there's
Mason.
I know, right? Look, it's been like 6 months since we did one of these. All right, cut me some slack.
True. To be fair, though, we weren't even like prepared for the Persona one. We just were like, hey, let's do this thing. Okay. It was like from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning.
I was more prepared for that than I was for this.
Yeah.
Because I was hyped as hell to talk about Persona.
Oh, yeah, because you're like, Drew was super right about this game being super good.
Well, it wasn't just you. It was my friends Michael and Ray too. They convinced me to get it, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, those are good games, but this isn't Persona. This is Pokemon's. There's a specific team that I love to use in Generation 1.
Let's hear it.
And, well, Venusaur, Vaporeon, Raichu, Fearow, Really, that's actually about it. And then I have like 2 random ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't, contrary to popular belief, you don't need a full 6 team for really any of the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it's better to have it. So I just have the 4 main ones. Sometimes I'll experiment. Sometimes I'll grab a Sometimes I will use a Snorlax, or I did actually try to carry a Butterfree through the entire game, and I got up to Sabrina before I was like, this isn't gonna work. I did take Eradicate all the way, and that was actually really cool.
Was that your Nuzlocke run?
No, my Nuzlocke run was actually a randomized Nuzlocke run.
Ah.
I was recording that. It was actually the first one that was my comeback, and that ended up getting deleted. But I had that whole thing recorded. I started with a Zapdos.
Yeah. Wow.
So I found a Starmie, and I found a Mew in Mount Moon that I wasn't able to catch. Freaking! I found a Haunter. Literally my first step into Seafoam Islands, my first encounter was an Articuno. I was like, holy shit. And then my first encounter on the road to Victory Road, the route to Victory Road, goddamn Mewtwo.
Amazing. It's like the game wanted you to finish it.
I didn't lose a single Pokemon. Guess who caught a Mewtwo in a Pokeball?
Apparently you did.
I did. That was the greatest moment of my life, honestly. It really was.
It was destined for you to beat it. It's just too bad you never got it uploaded.
Oh, I was so upset when I couldn't upload it. I was so upset. I had it all edited and ready to upload, but then my old laptop refused to connect to the internet, and apparently it was some kind of issue where you had to wipe it clean.
Oh boy.
I was like, fuck. But yeah, that was my Nuzlocke run. I've never actually done a legit Nuzlocke. I've only done 2, and they've both been randomized. So, I think next time I do a Nuzlocke, I'm gonna do it straight. So what about you?
Oh, how about you do your least favorites now, since you've gone through your other crap?
Yeah, I don't really like... In Gen 1, I don't really like Pidgey, because you have Spearow, and it's just such a better option.
Yeah.
I feel like Dragonite is a waste of time to try to get, because it's so hard to find a Dratini in Safari Zone. It's just, there are better options.
Yeah.
Again, this is all just for Gen 1, because Dragonite's one of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's a friggin' dragon.
Yeah, Geodude is really any of the Pokemon that require trait evolutions. I don't really see a point in getting. I forgot to name another one of my favorites, and that's Nidoran Male.
Mm-hmm.
Always a fantastic choice. Because Nidoking, man, powerful as hell.
Yeah.
That's
what, in terms of attack or like special attack?
It's attack, but you can also teach it a shit ton of moves. Like, have you ever seen a Nidoking with Thunderbolt? You can give it Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I knew you could give it Thunderbolt, actually.
And Ice Beam, and it's like, you can make a versatile Nidoking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because in Gen 1, well, not just in Gen 1, in any of the main games, you don't need any sort of strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start competitive, you need the strategy.
I was about to say, that's when you're one of those assholes. And yeah, we're not going to get into competitive Pokemon either here.
Eevees and Ivies, Drew. I don't know anything about them, so I can't talk about them.
I barely know anything about them, too. And when I tried to understand it, I couldn't get it.
Even if I wanted to, I couldn't talk about it. Somebody in the comments will tell us about it.
I'm sure somebody will one of these days once this gets enough views.
That's fine. I welcome comments. Weedle, Beedrill, do not like. I do not like Beedrill.
You don't even like Kakuna?
No, nobody likes Kakuna or Metapod. Now, I would say Magikarp would
I was about
be
to
a
say, I
waste
was
of
going to
time.
ask about Magikarp, but then I'm like, but it evolves into Gyarados eventually.
Exactly.
Because I
If it
always
didn't
see those dumb
evolve,
pictures where it's like, if you don't want me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
I swear to God, when I evolve, I'm going to kill you all. But I don't. I was saying I don't think any of the trade evolutions are really worth it. Because first, it's not really worth it to pick any of them up unless you have a way to get said trade evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can get a Machamp, holy cow, or a Gengar, holy cow. But
Oh god, those are only
otherwise,
trades?
oh yeah,
Ugh.
Golem, Gengar, Machamp, and there's one more that I can't remember right now. And I'll pop up a note on the screen once I find out.
Golem, really? I thought Golem was normal evolution.
Nah, Golem's trade evolution.
Damn.
I know, right?
That's a crappy way, though, for most Pokemon to evolve. Didn't they stop that, though?
I think I think they were doing it up until Gen 4. No, up until Gen 5 they stopped in Gen 4 because they still had they stopped after Gen 4 is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because they still had the Porygon Z that you had to trade to get, which like you already have to trade a Porygon to get Porygon 2.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I just have a Porygon Z? Why do I have to trade it with another hold item?
Exactly.
And Porygon Z is a good Pokemon.
Is
Porygon
it?
Z is it's a good Pokemon. It's just I don't understand why I have to go through the effort twice. Like now in this day and age, it's not hard, but back in the day, back in the Gen 4 days, it was kind of tough if you didn't really have any friends and you didn't have any internet connection.
How did you get Porygon in the first generation? Don't you trade it to an NPC?
No, Porygon you have to get through the game corner. It costs 9,999 coins.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, with those dumb slot machines?
Yeah, those dumb slot machines.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, you can just save up all your money to buy them. That's what I ended up doing.
Oh God, I remember now. That was my least favorite thing that I found out that I disliked about first gen was the fact that there are no trainers that are rebattleable. If that is even a word.
The Elite Four.
I know, but
Hey, the Elite Four pays good money, dude.
still yet, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, that's awful. Like,
Yeah,
I get it, they pay super good, but I still don't like the fact that I can't just get called up like I could in Gen 2 and be like, hey, I'm over here on 21st route. Come battle me. Youngster.
Joey talking about his super cool Rattata.
And it can kick your butt. I want a rematch.
It's top percentage. Fun fact, and I'm not saving this for Gen 2. Fun fact, Joey's Rattata has IVs all in 31. Perfect IVs, so it is top percentage.
Oh boy.
It's just Rattata sucks. Well, I guess we can go with your favorite and least favorite now. Stop falling asleep on me, computer.
I'm just gonna name 3 and 3 for both.
Fair enough.
Let's see.
We want to actually talk. It's a bad idea. We want to actually talk about teams in Gen 2 and 3. It's a bad idea.
I can do teams definitely for Gen 3. Probably not for 2, because I don't remember still a whole lot from 2, but I remember 3 so well.
Well, see, I will take your 3 and 3 for Gen 2 and 3, and you can talk about teams in Gen 3 then.
Alright, that sounds good then.
Alright.
I would have to say my number one favorite would probably be Articuno. I'm a big fan of flying ice bird with long, like, flowy ribbon tail. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's pretty. My
Oh, you think its design
second,
is really good? So do I.
yeah, I think its design was really good, especially when you just catch that tiny glimpse of it in the anime. You don't really get to see it a whole lot because they didn't really cover the birds in any movies that I remember
They did,
recalling.
actually.
Did they?
Yeah, the Pokemon 2000
What's that?
was
2000?
all... That was Pokemon 2. Yeah, that was all about the birds.
I thought that
I
was
think
just
Lugia
Lugia and
showed...
Ho-Oh.
No, it was just Lugia with Lugia's song, but that was mainly all about the birds.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, I'll
But
shut up then.
Lugia's song is the only part of that movie I legit remember.
Yeah. All I remember is that stupid spear that Ash kept whining about wanting.
I thought you were about to say that stupid song, and I was about to punch you through the internet.
No, I remember Ash like getting up from the ground and being like, "I gotta get that spear, the spear." Ugh.
I don't
Just
remember
over
that.
and over and over again, like constantly.
Oh no, I
Anyways,
remember they made a Minnesota Vikings joke in that movie, and being the football nerd I am, I was like, yes!
amazing.
Where are Vikings from? They're normally from Minnesota.
Minnesota, the most desolate planet.
It's a planet now.
It's a planet. It's a
Well, I mean,
planet.
have you ever actually been to Minnesota? It's an entirely different world up there.
No, I haven't. That's why I call it a different planet, though, because I know it's different.
I was there for a few hours while waiting for my plane to Alaska back in '07.
Gravity feels stronger here, Dad.
I'm Goku. This is King Kai's planet.
I think I'm about to go Kaioken. Watch my body get red, Dad.
Super Saiyan God before it even existed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez. Number 2 would probably be Lapras. I love Lapras. I think it's a neat design. I like the fact that you can also ride on its back. Wasn't it in Gen 2? Lapras got its own surf design for water surfing.
No, I think in
Was
Gen
that 3?
2, I think in Gen 2 they just used Lapras' sprite as the surf design.
Okay, because I thought they used a different sprite, but specifically for Lapras, they used Lapras, but they used some dumb weird thing as the other kind, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think Lapras ever got its own legitimate surf sprite for itself. That's a shame, though. It really is.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I've always liked the fact that you could ride apparently 5 or more people can ride on a Lapras's back, as long as they're moderately weighed, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well we
as
had
we've
3
seen in the
10-year-olds
anime.
riding on Lapras all the time back in
Exactly,
Orange
that's what I meant.
And their Pokemon, it would all fit on Lapras' little saddle things. So.
Yeah, exactly. So
Exactly.
I think Lapras is a really good Pokemon, especially since you only get, I think, 1 in the whole game, don't you? Or can you fish for them?
No, you only get 1 in Gen 1.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can get more in Gen 2, because I only know of 1 that shows up in Gen 2, but I don't know if you can get it more than once.
Yeah. Let's see. And for number 3, man, that's actually kind of a tough one. I would say probably Eevee, just because he can evolve. He's the only Pokemon that can evolve into all those other Pokemon.
Oh, I love me some
But
Eevee.
since that's kind of vague, I'm gonna go with Arcanine though, because one of my favorites for Gen 2 is an Eevee evolution, and it's actually my favorite Eevee evolution in Gen 2. So I'm gonna skip Eevee for now and say Arcanine.
I hope we're on the same page.
But
But we'll find out in just a second.
yeah, we will. We definitely will. But I like the fact that Arcanine is just a ginormous freaking mutt, and just it's practically it's a dragon in its own right. It just spits freaking fire at you. I love it.
Did you
and
know
it's
its
super hairy.
Pokedex classification is the legendary Pokemon? I love
For
that.
real?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's yeah. It's when you catch one, it's Arcanine, legendary Pokemon. I'm like, I love to go around with the theory that Arcanine was supposed to be a legitimate legendary. I don't think that's true, but I love that idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's. I did not notice that though. I've honestly never been a big fan of the Pokédex reads.
I like them when they get creepy.
Like, it's just because I'm like, okay, I've caught this thing. I really don't care about lore. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm honestly one of those guys that could play Pokemon and not give a shit about the story. It's just I want to go around, catch all these Pokemon, and battle people. If I want to play an RPG, for the actual story, I'll play like Final Fantasy or Persona.
Or Dark
Yeah,
Souls.
I have not played Dark Souls yet, so
One of these days, Mason. One of these days.
I'm gonna play Dark Souls before you finish Persona 4.
I don't
And that
know.
bothers me in so many ways.
Technically, though, I've finished it. Just the anime.
Doesn't Well, if you finish the anime, then that means you already know the ending. So guess what? You can move on to now.
Oh, nope. I guess still have to finish 4 first.
You will not delay it. Damn it. You
Sorry,
will play
Mason.
it eventually.
Sorry. Fire Emblem Warriors and Mario Odyssey are taking up my time right now, bro.
Okay, now I can accept Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
I
All
can't
right.
accept Fire Emblem because I'm not a Fire Emblem fan.
To each his own, sir. Let's move on to
Yeah.
Gen 2.
You mean the best?
In your opinion, sure.
In my that is actually completely right.
But Gen 2 is such an improvement, though, from 1, especially in the music department.
Oh, that soundtrack.
I also
Oh,
have
that
more
soundtrack.
favorite Pokemon designs in that than I do the first gen.
Drew, do you know how long I've been playing Generation 2? Like 15 years, alright? I found something out.
Like what?
When Silver comes up to you and he has his little rival theme, he has an alternate theme. He has 2 different rival encounter themes.
Really?
I just found that out today.
Interesting. Okay.
And I either it doesn't show up in the game or I've just never noticed it.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to the soundtrack and the one video was called Rival Encounter Theme. I was like, oh yeah, this is Silver's theme. Click, next video, Rival Theme 2. I was like, what? And it sounds different.
Like it's completely different, or is it just like a remix or something?
It's a remix.
Okay.
And it's a legit remix. Same instruments and everything. It's like, holy shit, I never noticed this.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's not in the game. Maybe it's like his last theme or something.
Maybe I just never noticed. Maybe I just never noticed because he has his battle theme that you never forget. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's his encounter theme. Like Gary has his encounter theme. Which, by the way, Silver's encounter theme is better than Gary's battle encounter theme.
Any other rival theme is probably better than Gary's.
No, Gary's is awesome because it just has this air of I'm such a douche around. Hell,
Because he is. You ready to battle, ass? My name is Ash.
What'd you say, dude?
Said, are you ready to battle, Ash? My name is Ash. God, I'm never gonna forget that stupid Robot Chicken bit. That's so dumb.
Oh, that was from Robot Chicken?
That was Robot Chicken.
Wow. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in a very, very long. Do you know the only Robot Chicken sketch I remember? Fucking
A Star Wars one.
No, that sketch with Scooby-Doo meeting Jason Voorhees. It's like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
wow.
I do remember that one. Man, that was That was hard to watch.
As a huge fan of Friday the 13th, that was very cringeworthy. I was like,
Yeah,
I know,
because he's
I
murdering
know.
teenagers.
No, he does that all the time. What
No,
bothered
I
me
mean, like,
was
he's murdering teenagers that everybody, like, knows, like, they're not involved with violent things for some reason, even though that seems like a common thing for their job.
the only one that bothered me was when he killed Shaggy, because I like Shaggy. And then how Velma just randomly decided to have sex with the freaking old guy. I'm like, what the hell is this? But, that soundtrack. Oh, that soundtrack. You're gonna explode all over Gen 3. You let me have my moment. That soundtrack.
No, actually,
Gen 2.
you got it. I'm actually going to look up the soundtrack right now. It's a good thing I have headphones in so nobody can hear me nosing all over this. I'm gonna turn it down super low.
And then you can totally look up that freaking rival. Yeah. I'll actually remember I linked it. I linked the video to you because it was in a whole playlist. So you can listen to that, and then you can go back one video and do a comparison. It's like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that soundtrack, man. Oh, man. New Bark Town, Professor Oak's theme, Route 29, Cherry Grove City, Violet City. Oh, God, Violet City. Both gym leader themes, Goldenrod City. Oh, my Lord. Such nostalgia.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. I listened to the battle theme for the rival.
Oh yeah, the battle theme for the rival's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
But
let's see here.
Yeah, he has two separate encounter themes, and it bothers me that I don't know that I never noticed it.
So something I just kind of noticed about all the Pokemon games. Yeah. So from Gen 1 all the way to the gen we have now for Sun and Moon, I don't care to know what number we're on. Shut up, Mason. Does it literally go from Route 1 all the way to like 100 something?
Gen 1 has routes 1 through 20 something. Gen 2
because
has 29
Gen 2 goes off of that, and then Gen 3 I know for a fact
Gen 3 starts at 10. Gen 3 starts off with 101, and I'm like, what the hell? And then Gen 4 has like Route 400 something, and I'm like, where in the hell did we come from that? And then Gen 1, and then Gen 5 onwards has Route 1, and it's like, what the hell?
Let's see here. Yeah, the rival music has so much attitude to it.
I know. Like it's not an air of hey, I'm a douche. It's an air of I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's just a random guy that's like, I stole this Pokemon. I'm going to make it a piece of trash.
Possibly abusive to his Pokemon, but he doesn't care because he's a badass. Freaking.
Let's see here. But go ahead and continue with what we were going to do with this one, since we're on Gen 2.
You mean just burst over the soundtrack for a good couple minutes?
Yeah, which I guess we're already talking about the. We're already talking about the soundtrack, so I guess we can just go ahead and go off of what we're doing now.
Let's see. Well, what is the question really comes down to?
What's the best?
Yeah, what's the best track in the entire game? And I have my answer.
Give it to me. I'll look it up right now.
Red's theme.
Okay. I figured that's what it was going to be anyways, because it's.
Hey, if that wasn't in it, it'd be the Kanto Gym Leader battle. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I told you to look that up because that is a sick remix.
Oh, I have a metal version of it actually.
Of that specific version?
That specific version, I'm pretty sure. I'll
Hell,
look real
you
quick
better
to
you
double
better link
check.
that. You better link that to me so I can frickin' listen to it.
I don't know if it's something I can link it to, but I can probably give it to your email.
Yeah, just email it to me then.
Yeah, you got it. I will do just that.
Because I will definitely. That is my favorite gym leader battle theme of the entire series.
I'm gonna have to Control F this. Like, Red's theme doesn't pop up anywhere.
What?
Oh, there it is. Lance and Red battle. Okay, I was just looking for Red.
Yeah, well, see, I only associate it with Red. I honestly always forget that you have Red's theme. That it's also Lance's theme.
Yeah.
But you can blame the internet for that.
Yeah, I'll have to blame this person who uploaded it, which I'm not going to say their names, then we have to appreciate them for their time.
If they uploaded the soundtrack, I appreciate them, even though everybody and their mother did. Probably.
There's like 50 people who have uploaded the same soundtrack, so I'm just like, whatever, it's no different than the first one.
I appreciate
That's why I'm like,
all
I'm not saying specifically who I'm listening to.
I appreciate all of them. I don't care. That soundtrack, man.
Yeah.
I guess we can go with like my favorite town theme, which is Goldenrod City, obviously.
Yeah, Goldenrod City's super upbeat. But I heard the newer version was way more upbeat. Is it not more upbeat? I thought it was.
I don't like it. But that's because, honestly, I have nostalgic bias for 8-bit music.
Yeah.
Like, to me, Goldenrod City in particular, in fact, it's the only song on that entire Heart Gold Soul Silver soundtrack that does not sound right. Not 8-bit.
Soul Silver OST.
To my ears, Goldenrod City does not sound right with DS instruments. It really doesn't, and I don't know why, because the rest of the soundtrack updated, fantastic. I prefer the 8-bit version, but that's because, again, I like 8-bit music. But it's just that specific song that I'm like, no.
Let's see here. Goldenrod, where are you? I have a goldenrod in my pants.
Jesus Christ. Does it turn everything it touches into gold?
Yep.
That might not be a good thing then.
But I can make so much money.
Might want to keep some people away from it.
That means I'm gonna have to wear some gold-proof pants.
Exactly. You're gonna need a gold-proof condom.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, come
yeah,
on.
It sounds like it came from Gen 3, honestly.
Yeah, but it just doesn't sound right to me.
I mean, I don't blame you for thinking it doesn't sound right. It just sounds like it came from Gen 3, though. Excuse me.
Like that's just my opinion, though, and I like to pretend that if somebody likes something from Pokemon, that they're wrong, or that for example, I called you a traitor when you said you didn't mind Gen 7, but
you are wrong.
But no, I hate Gen 4 with a passion, except for Heart Gold Soul Silver. But even then, it's like, I prefer the 8-bit version. I hate Diamond Pearl Platinum with a passion. But if you want to tell me in the comments that you like it, that's perfectly fine. Just don't tell me I'm wrong and actually mean it.
I'm just going to say, though, I hate those because I've never played them.
How shallow. At least get that. That's what I'll always say, is at least give it a chance. I gave Gen 7 a chance, and Gen 7 bored the hell out of me because I barely even got to play it
X
because
and
of
Y?
goddamn cutscenes. No, that's Sun and Moon.
Oh, dude,
X
I told
and
you, I
Y.
don't know what number we're on. I don't care to know either.
X and Y I actually finished, but was just so boring and so easy that I was like,
I was about to say, yeah, X and Y I do know being pretty easy. I don't know why, but I hate uh, Sun and Moon, because literally no trainer goes over 3 Pokeballs.
Oh, great.
Every single Pokemon trainer I've come across so far that's an NPC only has like 2 to 3 Pokemon. Like,
Well,
they never have a full set of 6, and I always expect them to have a full set of 6, and never have it, ever.
Well, just like every other Pokemon game since Gen 4, I'm cautiously optimistic for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
I hope that game can give me a reason to actually go through Alola. I hope they cut down on cutscenes, because I swear to God, at least early in the game, because I got up to the beginning of the second island before I was like, you know what, no, I'm not doing this. I felt like there was like a 70%, 70-30 cutscene to gameplay ratio. Felt like I was playing Metal Gear Pokemon.
Hey, now if you were playing Metal Gear Pokemon, you'd have a 40-minute cutscene at one time.
Yeah, but I'd also
and then you're going to have to listen to various types of media, such as cassette tapes or CDs or MP3s or something to that effect.
But I'd also have Snake, so that's kind of a plus.
So I think I found the song I like the most just from randomly clicking on everything.
And that would be...
It is... I'm pretty sure it was this one. Let me go back and click it. Yes, Route 29.
Hey, that's actually the first route. I love that song.
Yeah, I love that one. It's really, like, catchy.
I actually like that more than Route 1, believe it or not. Like,
Route 1's actually pretty good. I want to hear it, though, on this version, because it's going to be better in every way.
Honestly, I disagree.
I like this version. It's so much more relaxed.
I think Route 1 is the only Kanto song in that game that I think the original is better.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's too slow for my liking is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pallet Town being slow, not God slow like Gen 3 and 4. I think Gen 2's speed of Pallet Town is perfect. And I think everything else in Kanto is superior except Route 1.
Yeah.
By the way, can we talk about how Kanto would not have even been possible if it wasn't for our man Satoru Iwata?
Yeah.
If it wasn't,
yeah.
If it was not,
he was the one who
Iwata,
wrote the code to be able to go there.
He compressed
Johto.
the fuck out of it. He compressed fuck out of Johto and freed up enough space to put Kanto into it. Not the entirety of Kanto, but it's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
And
man, I felt so bad for not believing in that poor man.
We are not going to talk about Iwata.
We're not, but I still feel bad to this day for it.
No, because then we won't shut up about Iwata, because God damn it. Actually, if it was up to me, our next podcast would be an Iwata cast, just talking about Iwata. But I don't think we're actually going to do that, because we'd never shut up.
Exactly. So, let's move on to the next topic. We've obviously covered the music.
Personal memories. We didn't do personal memories.
Oh, that's true.
You have any personal memories of Gen 2?
Yeah. The first time I fought the rival. Oh, man, you better believe it.
Oh, I bet you were hyped as fuck when you heard that news.
Yeah, I was super hyped as soon as I heard his theme. I actually remember getting Crystal. I had Gold. I always wanted Silver, because I liked Lugia better than Ho-Oh in the end.
Who doesn't?
I mean, I like Ho-Oh's... I like him better as, because he's multiple different colors. I like his color palette. But Lugia is just a solid mix of white and blue. And Lugia is more plain, but I like the fact that he's like a water type. I'm not big on the fire types, really.
I don't even think he's a water type. I think he's a flying psychic type.
Is he? I thought he was a water.
So did I, because he knows I rain dance and hydro pump, but no, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure he's flying psychic.
Well, I knew he could use water moves, and that's why I prefer him anyways. And it's not because that makes him better than Ho-Oh, because Ho-Oh's weak to water. Because, God forbid, I just, I don't know what it is about Lugia. I just like the fact that he had more attack diversity when it came to himself.
Oh, he had a signature move. No,
So
wait, they both had a signature move. I forgot
they
about
both did, yeah.
Ho's. Yeah, Sync
One was
Fire and Aeroblast. And Aeroblast had the better animation, so I mean that's a plus.
But the most I remember loving about my memories of the game specifically was I got Crystal specifically like early as a Christmas gift because I knew what it was because I could tell by the look of the box that was in the wrapping paper. I could just tell it was a Game Boy game. I'm like, this has to be Pokemon. So I got my Game Boy, got a new set of batteries, and went to my aunt's, and I opened it, and I'm like, yeah! Like, I lost my shit. It was awesome.
Because there's no other Game Boy games but Pokemon.
Exactly.
There was nothing back then. Nothing.
Like, I played that all night. I remember staying up all night playing it, because I was on Christmas break, and I could just stay up for as long as I want without my mother finding out. And so I played it and played it and played it and played it. But I remember my first Pokemon I caught was a Sentret, and I'm like, God, I love Sentret. I don't know what it is, but it's just it's freaking that it stands on its tail. I love that. It's like a mouse that stands on its tail, but it's not really a mouse. It's like a ferret or something.
Oh, man. Furry, I love furry.
But enough about me. Let's talk about you, sir.
Ah, here we go, baby. I have two separate fantastic memories of Gen 2. Believe it or not, I don't have any memories of growing up with it. I know I had gold. I know my brother Roger had silver. And then he got crystal.
Yeah.
Here is where my memories come in. So I find Roger's silver cartridge, alright? Years and years later, and I text him and I'm like, hey Raj, I found your Pokemon silver cartridge. Can I have it? Can I play it? He's like, yeah, sure. So I pop it in my Game Boy Advance SP because I had just gotten one around that time. And believe it or not, I was about 14, 15 years old at this point. So, so I pop it in because I want to see what's going on. And I see that he's in Goldenrod City, so I kind of tear up a little bit at the song because that song.
Yeah.
And so I check his team and I realize that he hadn't played this in a hell of a long time because he's just like me. He would only level up his starter and nothing else.
Yeah.
But so I go to check his PC because why wouldn't you check the PC?
Yeah.
And I find everybody's little favorite level 100 Mew. That's not the best part, though. And this is why I know this is why I'm pretty sure. No, this is why I know Mew was hacked into the game. Because here's the thing: you can transfer if you transfer a legitimate event Mew that you got through the event. If you transfer that over to Gen 2, it can never be shiny because it'll change up some of its stats because of the special defense will come in. Yeah. And none of its like IVs will match up to be shiny. But if you get any other Mew, hacked or glitched or whatever, you can get it shiny. So guess what was shiny? That Mew.
What?
That fucking Mew was shiny when I went to check its fucking summary, and I was like, oh my god, it's a blue Mew, oh my god.
It was blue?
It was blue.
That's weird.
It was shiny. And I was flipping my shit. I sent Roger a text message. I ran over to my friend Deverin's house. I was like, dude, you gotta see this. And he's like, oh, what's up? And I was like, look at this. He's like, that's a shiny Mew. I was like, you damn right it is.
Jesus Christ.
And so, but eventually that save battery died. And so I got really sad.
Ooh, yeah.
But here comes my second memory. And you can find this memory on my YouTube channel because I have a no commentary Pokemon Crystal playthrough. on my channel. Don't actually watch
Yeah.
it, but actually watch part 19, the beginning of it. I found a shiny Pidgeotto.
Part 19.
Part 19, I found a shiny Pidgeotto.
Let's see here.
And I added some stuff. Really stupid effect. Really stupid little reactions. Not the one reaction was stupid. That pretty much summed up my reaction to finding that shiny Pidgeotto. That was amazing. And I flipped my shit. And there'll actually be a link to that as well. Because I am a view whore. Watch all my videos, guys, please. But nah, man, that was bad. I carried that motherfucker through the entire team, through the entire playthrough, and even though I didn't even really like Pidgey or Pidgeotto that much, I was like, it's shiny, I don't care, and he became good. He became a team member.
Yeah.
So, in Gen 2, I have 2 shinies, both of which are technically not legitimate, because one's the result of a hacker glitch, and the other's on an emulator. Oh my.
You said Crystal, no commentary?
Crystal, no commentary, part 19.
Part
It's
19.
called Oh My God, because that's about right.
Jeez. What time?
The beginning of the video. Like,
just straight at the beginning.
Yeah, straight at the beginning. It'll have a little note that'll say, like, so I was doing some grinding, I started my recording early, and then this happened. So I'll just wait for a little bit, I guess, while you watch that.
Jesus Christ.
What, Jesus Christ at the clip I put in, or the fucking shiny Pidgeotto?
The shiny pit, just how random that is.
I know, right?
The percentage on finding those is so low.
1 in 8,192.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I put in the Wombo Combo melee video as one of the reaction, and the other reaction was a dumb parody video. Don't actually watch that part. It's stupid. It's retarded. But no, that about summed up my reaction to finding a shiny Pidgeotto. I was flipping my shit.
Yeah. Well.
And so that's my.
I liked your video, so you got 1 like on it.
Fuck yeah! So that's my memories of Generation 2, and
yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Oh, that is a hell of a fucking memory, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's now.
Definitely.
Now we go into the gym leaders. Oh boy.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Boy, we don't need to talk about the first 2.
Nope. Nope.
Oh,
Definitely not.
Boy, Whitney.
Yeah, gotta get that pussy.
Thoughts on Whitney, Drew?
Gotta get that pussy.
Yes, but any thoughts on her battle?
Miltank took me by surprise. I remember it actually being kind of tough to beat.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it being really strong.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it has fucking Stomp, which does more damage to smaller Pokemon. I don't know if that was added in Gen 2 or not, but
yeah,
it has Milk Drink, so it can recover its health by drinking out of its own cow titties. And then it has some other move, and then it has Rollout.
I was about to say it has rollout. Yeah, I know that was the big one, because doesn't that one like attack you continuously or something and increase damage every time?
Yeah, every turn. It has 80 accuracy, I'm pretty sure. Thank you. It has,
which seems pretty high for damage output.
Yeah, it will increase. It will. I don't quite know how the rollout calculations work. All I know is that if it hits you once, it does minimal damage. It doesn't do much damage.
Yeah, but the more it keeps going, you need to like get a good defensive Pokemon that's not like rock type.
And so that's where Cyndaquil becomes pretty much useless in that battle.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if you have, unless you're lucky enough to burn it, Cyndaquil's pretty much useless in that battle.
Yeah.
So you can get a Ghastly from because Rollout still hits Ghastly. Basically, you have to get a Pokemon that resists Rock type.
No, it can't hit Ghastly because it's a floating Pokemon. Or is that a thing only in 3?
No, Ghastly can't be hit by ground type moves. Rollout is a Rock type.
But that is, it's a rock. I thought it was a ground.
No, and also that is Gen 3 only too. That is not only. That is starting at Gen 3 too.
Okay. Honestly, I remember they started doing things in Gen 3 that actually made sense, like a flying Pokemon, or a floating Pokemon such as Ghastly can't get hit by a ground type because it doesn't have feet.
Right.
So it floats.
But what makes that freaking battle even worse, believe it or not, is her Clefairy. Because if she uses Metronome, there's a good chance, because it's the AI, of course, there's a good chance that it's going to hit you with some super powerful attack and take out probably your best Pokemon against Miltank, your best Pokemon, before you have any revives. So
yeah, definitely. And you don't get revives that early in the game, do you?
No, you do. You don't get revives that early. You might get one that early in the game.
Okay.
Might. But you'd think.
Shit,
But you'd think that Heart Gold Soul Silver, putting Miltank's level down by 1, while not too much, would actually, make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But the problem then becomes that if you bring in a Ghastly or something to use Hypnosis or something, it has Scrappy as its ability. So it can hit ghost types with normal moves. So it can stomp the shit out of your Ghastly, which does more damage because Ghastly's super small.
Yeah.
So
I did not know that was a thing with Stomp, honestly.
Yeah, that is a thing with Stomp.
That
makes
actually never knew that.
Makes battling some Pokemon super annoying.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I was struggling to remember what the first gym battle in that game was. It's the bird trainer.
Yeah, it's fun. It's his dad's Pokemon, so both he and his dad are cheaters because he has a level 9 Pidgeotto.
Yeah.
Pidgey doesn't evolve into Pidgeotto until level 18. So what the hell?
Exactly. Whatever. Don't question. Well, sometimes you'll find things like that. You'll find a Pidgeotto that'll be lower than sometimes a Pidgey or something dumb.
I remember in Yellow, in Viridian Forest, you can find a level 9 Pidgeotto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one of those dumb things that, why did they do it? You never know. You have to ask them.
So we talked about Whitney, the most infamous gym leader in probably in the entire series, I'd say.
Whitney?
Yeah, Whitney.
Probably, yeah, because I don't remember any of the others really giving me that big of a challenge.
And then right after her is the second most infamous, Morty, aka Solid Snake. Because have you noticed his sprite in Gen 2 looks like Snake?
Does it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Let's find out here then.
Yeah,
just normal gold though, right? Gold, silver.
Yeah, gold, silver, crystal. Yeah, just look up Morty Gen 2 sprite.
Morty sprite 2. I can kind of see it, but not as bad as you make it sound.
I don't think it's bad.
He doesn't look that bad.
No,
he's not in a muscle suit or anything. So when I think of Solid Snake, I think of being in a tight muscle suit.
Yeah, but it's also 8-bit. It's so.
And he's got the headband, so I think that's where you're kind of getting it from.
Yeah, I just like to go along with the joke. It's like Surge. He kind of sort of looks like Guile, so I like to call him Guile all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Morty is a challenge because his Gengar has Hypnosis and Dream Eater, and of course the AI always hit Hypnosis and hit you with Dream Eater. So
Exactly.
That makes the best evolution completely worthless in that fight. And I'm, of course, talking about Espeon.
Oh, okay, never mind. I got confused. I confused myself. That's why I got so quiet for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, Espeon. That's the violet color one.
Yeah, that's the psychic one, the best one.
That was also one of my favorite things in the game was finding all those EV evolutions. I just hated the fact that like I had to go to each individual trainer to fight the one.
You can easily see them all for your Pokedex right in Ekritique, in the Ekritique dance hall.
I know that's what I'm talking about, but still, yeah, I just hated like having to go to each individual trainer though to fight the one.
Yeah, that is pretty annoying.
But you and I have different opinions on the EV evolution there, buddy.
Don't you tell me.
I like Umbreon better.
How dare you? No, that's fine. I like Embryon too, because in said no commentary playthrough, I did actually use Umbreon instead. Not on purpose, by accident.
Yeah.
I was leveling Umbreon up. I was leveling Eevee up to try to like learn Bite, I think. And it did learn Bite, and then it evolved into Umbreon. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go with it. Like, I could have easily just done the rewind key and been like, nope, that didn't happen, but... And I was grinding off screen, so nobody would have known. I was like, you know what, no, fuck it, I'm going to go with it. And Umbreon's really good. Really tanky. But I just prefer Espeon.
I'll say, gotta get that flinching, bro.
Yeah. But Morty, besides his Gengar, there's really nothing bad about him. And
yeah,
like if you can hit, because Gengar is extremely fast. So if you can get that psychic type move off with Espeon, or hell, even hit it with a Bite before
he hypnoses you.
Yeah, before he hypnoses you. And he will miss sometimes, just it's the AI, so he barely misses. You're pretty much golden, so...
Like, hit rate on hypnosis has decreased over the game.
I think it's always been a solid... like
60 or 70.
I was about to say not solid, but I think it's always been continuously around 60 accuracy.
Yeah, which is pretty low.
Oh, yeah. Really, Supersonics is 55.
Really? I feel like Supersonic hits me every time.
I have a funny story about Supersonic that happened a couple months.
I hate... If there's one thing I absolutely ever hate about Pokemon, it is confused status. I hate it. I despise it.
Because every other turn, your Pokemon has to hit itself in the face.
Exactly.
I have a funny story about Supersonic though that happened a couple.
Give it to me.
So I'm training up a Zubat and Crystal because I hacked my 3DS, so I got Crystal playing off the 3DS Virtual Console because fuck Nintendo not putting Crystal up.
Yeah, that's for another day though. We've already discussed that one. That's definitely coming. Look forward to that, people.
That's the Nintendo cast. It's mostly positive, but man, did they do some stupid shit.
I was about to say, we don't have much positive stuff to say about new Pokemon stuff that Nintendo's doing.
Well, we don't have much negative to say about Nintendo in general. It's just the stuff we do have. Oh boy.
Yeah, we definitely are able to back up what we want here.
Yeah, but that's a discussion. Anyways, I'm playing Crystal on 3DS, and so I'm training up a Zubat. And I named it Yosuke, so I'm training up Yosuke. He's got Supersonic. And I swear to God, like the first 10 times I used Supersonic, it hit every time. Every time. I was on the phone with one of my friends, and I had to ask her. I was like, I need you to look up what Supersonic's accuracy is, because every time I'm using it, it's hitting. And then she said it was 55. I was like, that is bullshit. And as soon as she said it, Zubat missed Supersonic. I was like, damn it!
It's better that you didn't know, Mason.
Oh yeah, I probably could. I probably would have never missed a Supersonic if I didn't. That was insane, though. Like, I'm not fucking kidding. Fucking. Ah. Man. 10 straight times, dude. But I guess now we can go into our favorites and stuff. And I got three favorites, man.
I was about to say, are we going to talk about anything else? Like,
I don't really.
Any more gym leaders, or?
The only other one that I can think of is Claire, but that's because of what she put you through. Because I think it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Because really, that's just like, you beat me, but I'm not going to give you the badge because I don't like the fact that you beat me. So go through the dragon
She's
step.
a child, yeah.
So she has to. You even passed the test from the Dragon Elder. She's like, no, I still don't want to give him the badge. Do I have to tell Lance? No! Here, take it. It's like Lance is the equivalent of like her big brother, and she's like, "No, don't tell Big Brother, please."
Like, I thought they were related, though. I thought they were.
I don't know about that.
Because you have to be. First of all, I thought you had to be a gym leader to be in the Elite Four. I thought that actually was a thing.
I'm also not sure on that.
Oh well. Whatever.
I don't know.
It's no big deal. That's just something I thought that was a thing. Because if that's the case, he passed the torch on to her knowing that she's a child.
I don't know. It very easily could.
Because why else would you go tell Lance that, hey, this chick sucks? Because also, if you're, like, the top dog of the Elite Four, you should know who's doing what, who owns this gym, because, that's how you get to be in the Elite Four.
Well, yeah, that's what I always thought they were threatening her with, is that Lance is the head of the Elite Four. So it's like, since the Pokemon League and the Elite Four pretty much are in charge of deciding all the gyms and everything, it's like, do you want us to tell Lance that you've been acting up? Because we can get you in serious trouble if we do that.
Yeah.
Like, I never took it as they were related or anything. I just took it as, like, the head of the Elite Four is going to be really pissed off.
I would take that, though, as she's a fairly young gym leader, though. Not probably as young as Whitney, though. Then again, though, in
I think
Gen 3 was the one where actually introduced, like, children gym leaders.
Tate and Liza, yeah.
Yep.
The twins, and I think that's the first time we had a double battle gym leader, but that's for Gen 3.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much else to say on gym leaders. Do you have anything to say on any others?
I don't. I might look that up later, though, to see if that's a thing with, like, gym leaders, like, Elite Four bosses being, like, a gym leader beforehand. I thought that was a thing, but I could be wrong. I might look it up later when we're not doing this, though.
And if
I'm not too worried about it.
And I'll totally put up a quick note saying if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Gonna be doing a lot of post editing.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of post editing. I'm already gonna be doing a shit ton of editing.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess we can get into our favorite and least favorite, even though I realize we didn't really talk much about least favorite because it's hard to talk about Pokemon you don't like.
Yeah, because there aren't a whole lot from these I don't not like, so I don't really have like a not so favorite.
I don't even know why
like
put
that's
least
my
favorite.
My not so favorite started coming in once the ice cream cone was a thing.
Well, I can say without a doubt that out of all the Pokemon that I've used in Gen 2, because there are just some that you've never used because you may not hate it, you just don't have any interest in trying to use one. Like, out of all the Pokemon I've used in Generation 2, the one that I hate the most is Chikorita.
Really? Oh yeah, I remember you saying you hated Chikorita, and I love Chikorita.
Chikorita is my least favorite starter. Like, honestly, she really is.
You know, that should probably be also a thing that we do, like what our best starter is, or favorite starter is.
Well, let's go back to Gen 1 for a second. Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, I would definitely say Bulbasaur as well.
Gen 2, I can mix and match between Totodile and Cyndaquil, but it's usually Cyndaquil. Hello.
I was about
Thank
to
you.
say, for me, it's
I will
all
take one,
three in Gen
yes.
2. But if I had to pick, like, out of all of them, it would probably have to be Cyndaquil.
Yeah, well, Cyndaquil can learn fantastic moves leveling up, and it's like,
Yeah, and Typhlosion's a freaking boss. I don't
have,
think he had the best defense stats. I think, um, crap. I think Chikorita had the better defense stats.
but Chikorita is just so hard to use when it comes to an offensive standpoint, really.
Yeah,
Grass is not a good type early on in the game.
not entirely, no.
No.
Because there aren't really, like, many gym types that are weak against it.
No, it's not as easy as it was in Gen 1 with where literally Venusaur can pretty much carry you through the entire game until
Yeah,
you get to Sabrina, then you'll actually need some help with that. And Blaine, but that's about it. That's about
hmm
the only gyms that Venusaur actually has trouble with, but I
yeah,
digress.
basically.
Have you, dude? Teaching Typhlosion Thunder Punch is like the best thing you can possibly do,
Which is really weird that it can learn a thunder move.
and it's a fantastic one at that. Freaking,
Yeah, no
that
kidding.
reminds me of the fucking Pokemon Golder animation. I'm subscribed to the guy that does all these freaking like super ultra. Think Hi, I'm Daisy, except maybe not
Yeah,
as funny, but it's just straight animation that he does. It's super abridged of these plots. And my
yeah.
favorite thing in the Pokemon Golder series that he did was it's like Gold teaches Typhlosion teaches himself Thunder Punch with the TM, and then Gold's like,
hmm
you can learn electric moves, and fucking Typhlosion is just kneeling on the ground with like a Bible right next to him with a fucking angelic choir as he's learning Thunder Punch, and then he like cocks his fist, and it's like, oh man, shit's about to get real.
That is still so weird, though, that a Pokemon like that can learn Thunder Punch, of all things.
I think he can learn all the punches: thunder, ice, and fire. I've never tried to teach him Ice Punch.
It doesn't even have a fist, does it?
No,
It has hands, but I don't think it has a fist.
I'm pretty sure Typhlosion can make a fist.
You
I'm
think?
pretty
I
sure.
remember his hands being super pointy in his art.
Yeah, but also it's a Pokemon, so I'm pretty sure it can make a fist.
Yeah, whatever. Pick and choose your three, bro.
Espeon, obviously. Um, let's see, Umbreon. I developed an affection for Umbreon after.
In the past 5 minutes.
No, not the past 5 minutes. Ever since I did that whole series like a year ago.
Yeah.
And what's another good one? Honestly, in Gen 2, I don't really use a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon.
Really.
It's just because like you usually get a really really big selection of still Kanto Pokemon.
hmm
Um oh, Typhlosion, of course. How could I forget Typhlosion?
I was about to say you're missing some really good ones though.
Typhlosion, Espeon, and Umbreon. Those are my three. Those are my top three.
Yeah.
What's your top three, bruh?
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna
So
eat
you're
a
gonna hate me.
cookie.
You're gonna hate me for this, but the majority of them are legendary, actually.
Cheap.
Uh, yeah. So Entei is my number one.
Alright, I got nothing
Like,
against that.
I like the big ass cloud on his back. I think it looks super good. And then the movie, I remember the movie
Oh,
specifically with the
I
unknown.
know what you're talking about.
I thought Entei was so cool that he could like talk through like telepathy. Like he could just talk into your
I'm
mind.
sorry,
I
but
thought that was really
I
cool.
usually tend to forget Entei can speak with his mind when he mind controlled Ash's mother into being like the girl's mother. I
Exactly.
was like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
And then the other one is obviously Suicune, and I cannot let go of Suicune ever. Suicune is really, really good. It's the same thing with Entei. He's got so much going on. He's a solid. He's a dog. He's literally a freaking dog with a crystal on his head. That's a solid blue color throughout his color palette with a white stomach, and has like crystal, like shiny, like crystal, like ribbons coming off of his back. I always thought that was really cool.
So let me guess your third
how
one.
it always shines.
So let me guess your third one is Raikou.
No, actually, I hate Raikou.
What?
I don't like Raikou.
Okay, the one I like the most, you hate. Come on.
It's the fact that he reminds me too much of Entei. He's also got a cloud on his back. But the difference between him and Entei is Entei has like freaking steel, like metal, like things coming out of his mouth.
You have a point.
And then Raikou is literally just Pikachu, or Raichu rather, with things coming off his cheeks to make electricity. To me, he's too generic. I don't know what it is about. He just looks too generic.
What the fuck?
The third one though is Celebi. I love Celebi just because he's super cute and he's super playful.
Ah, yes,
Like,
Celebi.
He's
the one Pokemon we weren't able to get.
Yep, ever.
Yeah, because
they really?
never put that event. The event is in the game. It's just you can't actually activate the event.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, good job, Nintendo. You can do a Game Shark code glitch thing to activate the event, and there is, like I said, the one of two glitches I know. There is a glitch, a really complicated glitch you can do to get a Celebi, but I've never done it, so.
Well, I don't plan to do it, so I'm not too worried about it.
Here's a glitch even you can do, though, except I'm not actually going to say it. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I will say it. It really does nothing except just mess with the color palette of the game. So, what you have to do is you have to have the coin case, and you have to have seen a Machop. Seen or caught, it doesn't matter, because you have to be able to hear its cry in the Pokedex. So, you have to listen to its cry in the Pokedex, and then immediately try to use the coin case, and the game will reset and its color palette will glitch out. And if you do this glitch on Gold, you can actually see that the Ho-Oh on the title screen is not a silhouette. It's actually an actual like sprite with colors that they just paint colored black.
Yeah.
Like Lugia is a silhouette, but Ho-Oh actually has a sprite and colors on that title screen. And it's
to be fair though,
really cool.
Ho-Oh represents a rainbow though.
That is true. I've always liked that though.
Because fire.
Yeah. That's
what a rainbow has something to do with the fire. I'll never know.
It's the only glitch. It's the only glitch that I know how to do. Like actually know how to do in Gen 2. So now it's on.
So we've arrived.
Now it's on to the second best. Only
my favorite.
Only by a slight margin. Because Gen 3, 7.8 out of 10, too much water. IGN. No, if Gen...
Just shut up, Mason.
No, if Gen 2 is a 10 out of 10 for me, Gen 3 is a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
At
least you're not like that douchebag from Game Informer that gave Mario Odyssey a 9.75.
Just give it a 10.
That is too specific.
Either give it a 9.5 or give it a 10. Come on.
Exactly. I can see a 9.5 being a thing. I cannot see a 9.75.
Nobody does.
Oh well, there's this one issue I don't like that really makes this so controversial. Dude, just give it the freaking 10 for sake.
Yeah, there's one issue I have with Gen 2 too, but I don't really care that much.
To be fair, if my favorite game of all time is RE4. We all know
Yeah,
this. RE4. I'm sorry, Metal Gear Solid
oh,
4, but it should probably be RE4 because I play that way more. Anyways,
by the way, go follow
RE4.
Dreu on Twitch.
Yeah, I do some pretty good RE4 stuff. I was thinking about doing some LPs of nothing but RE4 different like kinds of runs, but that's for
By
another
the way,
time.
when's your LP coming up? Didn't you do one? When's it coming up on your channel? It's like Crash 2,
As soon
isn't
as
it?
I decide to edit it.
God damn it. Dreu, if I have to, I'll edit it so you can put it up there, because damn it, I want to see it.
Okay, I can give you the video files and the audio files.
No, it's your LP, you do it. I was just joking.
I'm about to say, we stopped doing Crash, just so you know.
You're not going to finish Crash? What the fuck?
Because I rage quit at Crash 2. So I'm like, there's no way, because I'm going to be so frustrated by the time I'm done.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We meet up together one day. We're doing an LP at Crash. We're not.
Okay, well, you're going to be obviously the one
I'll
playing.
play, except you'll play Stormy Ascent, and I don't mean the Insane Trilogy. I mean the even harder original version.
Okay, well, I'll do that so I can rage at it.
Yeah, just don't throw my controller.
Don't worry, I don't do that. Those cost way too much anyways.
Good.
But what was I saying? So, like, we're gonna go off track for a second, so just get ready for this. It's about the Mario Odyssey thing with the ratings. My thing about it is, if you're gonna give it a 9.75 out of 10, just give it the freaking 10 or give it a 9.5. There's no need to be that specific. That's like giving a game a 9.99 out of 10.
Exactly.
Like, the point, like, I was trying to make was, I love RE4 to death. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It has so many flaws. If you moved and, like, people have always said you should move and shoot in that game. If you move and shoot in that game, you are overpowered. Stopping and popping in that game is the best solution. Now, in RE5, you should have been able to move and shoot. That game is way too hard to stop and pop, especially if you play Mercenaries. But RE4, the AI in that game is so retarded you can make it through the entire first chapter with just the knife only. That's how much I've figured out the game.
Damn.
Like, you can figure, like, it's like the more you play it, the more you see the game for its flaws, which is the case for almost every game. I've been playing the living crap out of Fire Emblem Warriors recently. I played over 70 hours of it. As of today, I played 70 hours of it.
Dreu, it took me 2 months to do Persona 3 70 hours. It took you how many days to get 70 hours of FEW?
2 weeks.
Jesus Christ, Dreu.
But the reason I'm seeing Fire Emblem Warriors now for its flaws is because I played it for 70 hours, dude. Like, there's problems like when you kill an enemy, the game locks off of the enemy when you kill it, and then it just kind of goes to wherever it wants to go. It doesn't go into the front of the character that you're playing as. It doesn't automatically lock on to another character to fight. It just goes wherever it wants. It literally just goes wherever it wants. And if you want it to go somewhere, the camera stops for a second. And if you're trying to rotate the camera after you've killed an enemy, then it's just going to freak out and then skip to where you were trying to go.
Alright, well, that's...
So you don't even get to see where you're going.
That's retarded.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm seeing this game now for its flaws. I'm like, this is utterly ridiculous. I have way more to complain about for that game. But point being, I'm still enjoying the game, despite the fact that I'm finding all these flaws, because you're not always going to get that 10 out of 10 game, and no, not every game's going to be 10 out of 10, because there's going to be something that you're going to find that's wrong with it.
Exactly. You might not see it in, for example, I'm starting to see the flaws in Persona 3. It's still my favorite video game of all time. I don't think there's anything coming up so far that will change that. I'm starting to see the flaws in it. A few days ago, I watched my favorite movie from when I was a kid. I hadn't seen it in like 15 years. My Neighbor Totoro. I watched the tape. I didn't see any flaws then. I imagine if I watch it more and more, I'll see some flaws because there's nothing that is flawless. There's not. I gave My Neighbor Totoro a joke rating, but this is how I feel: a 10 out of 5. It's a fantastic film. I think it's Miyazaki's best movie that he's made, and I think anybody who ever wants to watch any sort of anime movie ever should watch it. With even a passing interest in anime, should watch it. But I imagine if I watch it more and more, I'll see flaws. Just like I imagine if I'm playing Persona 3 more and more, I'll see flaws. But just because something has flaws does not make it a bad game, and that's a thing where people like to. That's a thing people do like to think in this day and age. They like to look for something that's flawless.
Flawless and super original, which you're not going to find much of that
There's
anymore.
no flawless. There's nothing in this world in terms of any sort of art that is flawless. Everything has some sort of flaw.
Exactly. But, like, for instance, Resident Evil 4, even though... How about RE5 is a better example. I would personally rate RE5 7 out of 10. Because you can't move and shoot. If you can move and shoot, it'd be a 9. It's just because it's not scary enough that I wouldn't give it a 10. But like, if it was scarier, and you could move and shoot, I would definitely give it that 10. But I'm still sure I could find something wrong with it. But I still wouldn't give it a 9.75. I'd still give it that solid 10. But we should probably move back on to Pokemon now, Mason.
Probably. You gotta explode over the Gen 3 soundtrack like I did with Gen 2. So go ahead, my boy.
I was about to say, I'm actually listening to it right now, and while you were talking earlier,
you were drowning everything I said out with a great soundtrack. I approve.
Actually, no, I super was listening to you. I was just trying to figure out what my favorite song was, and I found it. Well, I have multiple favorites of everything. So if people would ever know me well enough, I have multiple favorites of specific things.
Alright, well.
But my favorite all-time song in the entire soundtrack is Route 110.
Route 110. Let me actually start looking up the soundtrack this time. I looked it up earlier today.
First time I was ever heard this song, I was so hyped. And it's after you get out of Slateport.
Speaking of Slateport, that is a fantastic song.
It really is. It's the route right as you get out of it. Because I remember getting out of there and I got super hyped.
Let's see. Route 110, you said?
Route 110.
Alright, let's hear that. Hold on a second. Well, my ears just exploded, but holy shit, that was awesome.
Yeah, right? You get hyped the moment you hear it.
I don't even need to listen to like more than 3 seconds of it, but I'm still going to. There we go, I turned it down. Oh, you are right, I do love this one. I love this one. Route 112, I think it is a pretty good one. It's the one volcanic ash area. I'm pretty sure. It's either 112 or 113. It looks like it's 112. No, hold on.
It's 113.
Okay, yeah, it's 113 is the one I'm thinking of. And here's a question I have for you, Drew. You know how the Pokemon Center themes are always really good, right? Am I the only one that doesn't like Ruby and Sapphires? I mean, between us, I mean.
It's more upbeat than all the others.
Have you heard the unused Pokemon Communication Center remix they did? Because that song is the Communication Center is actually in the Japanese version of Crystal because cell phones and stuff. Have you heard that? This remix in Ruby and Sapphire?
Is it official?
Oh yeah, it's official. It's just unused.
Okay, give it to me. I guess if you got it. Give it to me through Messenger.
You can just look it up, the Pokemon Communication Center.
Pokemon Communication
Ruby,
Center.
Sapphire, Emerald. And it's legit, like, it's unused. And I, honest to God, wish they used this instead of the main one, though the one they used in Ruby and Sapphire.
I like the other one better, honestly.
How dare you? I'm kidding, but
No, I know you're kidding.
I think that I think because I honestly I know I say I love 8-bit music. I don't like the 8-bit version of it from Crystal. It's all right, but I do prefer the actual used one they used. But I love the unused one in Ruby and Sapphire, and I wish they had used it. There's actually one song that I think would have been a better fit for the surfing theme than the surfing theme, and that's Lily Cove City. I think that would have been a nice fit for the surfing theme.
Yeah, I can see that.
But this soundtrack, man,
it's to me it's the best one. I don't know how I could think otherwise. It's to me the best one. And the soundtrack was what made it for me. That's probably the main reason why I like Pokemon games is the soundtrack.
The soundtrack is usually really good. I'll admit that.
Normally, yeah.
I don't really remember much from Gen 4 or 5. In fact, I know I didn't like Gen 4 soundtrack. I liked a few songs from it, but overall I thought it was pretty dull and boring.
Yeah. The something I've actually noticed that I just started listening to is the Elite Four battle theme.
Oh,
there is so much tension in the start of that song.
Yeah, they did start that in Gen 3. You're right.
There is so much tension at the beginning of this song.
Let me hear it. Oh yeah, it's pretty hype. That's pretty epic as fuck. It's like, oh shit, you're about to get in a fight.
Yeah, you're about to get in the fight of your life there, bro.
I think this would have actually been a really good champion theme.
To be fair, I like Steven's theme, though, the best of all the battle themes.
I think what I like most about Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald is the trumpets. It's like...
Yeah, I was about to say, I've seen this comment here. It says, where there is hoe and there shall be trumpets.
Doot doot, motherfucker. And of course, that's what was going through everyone's mind when the Gen 3 remakes came in. It was like, doot doot, motherfucker,
trumpets.
hoe in time. But personally, my favorite song in this soundtrack is Verdanturf Town.
Yeah, Verdanturf's really good.
That's just a really peaceful. I've noticed that I tend to like the peaceful and calming songs the most because.
I was about to say, didn't you like another version of this song?
Of Verdanturf? Yeah, there was
like an orchestrated version.
Yeah, it was an orchestra. I don't think I could find the one that I actually really liked.
I thought we found it on Rabbit a few months ago.
No, I think that was one that was different. I'm trying.
So I swore we found it because you were like, "This is super it," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty good."
I'm not sure. It might be this one. I'm trying to listen to it. Hold on, it might be it. Yep, this is the one. And this is the one that made me fall in love with this track, and then I listened to it back in actual Ruby and Sapphire, and I was like, man, this is still so good. And I actually haven't heard, at least that I can remember, we might have listened to it with on Rabbit, but then again, my memory sucks. I can't remember hearing the Oros version, so I'm about to...
I do have another question for you, kind of off topic here, but it's still about Pokemon. Yeah. Because it was introduced in Gen 3, what do you think about the contests?
I could give less of a fuck. I couldn't give less of a fuck, honestly.
I'm pretty sure they continued that for like 2 more games, and then they just said screw it because I don't think anybody did it.
I can't.
That was one of those things I could also never figure out as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, when you're used to
Because the thing is, though, you're giving a Pokemon a text for them to battle. You're not
exact.
doing this to appeal to the stupid
So
contest
you'll really
stuff.
only have like maybe one or two moves that will fit into your category of contest that you entered, and that's the problem.
Exactly. So I mean, unless if you're gonna go like get a Mew or something, that a Pokemon that knows so many moves, you're not gonna be in much luck, especially if they're TMs. And back then, TMs were only useful one
Yeah,
time.
so that was. Besides, it didn't really do anything. I mean, the gym badges were essential to the plot, which is why I've always enjoyed gym battles because it actually makes me feel like I did something important. With fucking contests, you just get a little ribbon. It's like, yippee! What do I do with this?
Yeah, because it doesn't do. You don't really get anything from it that I remember. Because I remember winning 2 of them. Like I just won them honestly by luck.
I don't
Um,
think.
but I remember getting 2 of them, and I don't remember getting anything like super
No,
extraordinary.
you just get a ribbon. Is all I remember.
Be like, hey, look what I did, and it doesn't really matter.
Yoo-hoo, yay, wahoo.
So another question I have for you that's off topic of what we're doing: which team would you prefer, Aqua or Magma?
Ooh, they both have they both when you go back and you listen to what their ultimate goal really is, they both have
Hmm.
good-hearted goals. It's just that they're going about it the wrong way.
The wrong
Yeah,
way,
because
yeah.
Magma wants to make sure that land Pokemon still have a place to live because, after all, Hoenn is surrounded by a vast majority of ocean. And
Yes.
Aqua wants to make, but the problem with Magma is they want to destroy most of the ocean, and Aqua wants to make sure that that water Pokemon still have a place to live, so they want to destroy the land. It's like you have a noble goal, you're just doing it so wrong.
Yeah, and to awake a tyrant at the end of the road there too.
Exactly. Um,
Like pretty much a god of like that magnitude is basically what it is. Groudon and Kyogre are basically gods when you think
if I
about
had,
it. They
do I,
control weather
oh
for
yeah,
God's
oh
sakes.
that reminds me of the one song that I can think of that I don't like in Ruby and Sapphire because it doesn't actually play in Emerald.
Hmm.
When you go to an area that's covered in a drought in Ruby,
Oh, the drought theme. I had that here.
that's
There it is,
awful.
drought. Oh, it's like a
Yeah,
beeping
that's the
noise.
problem. It's awful. It's so irritating. It's just I want to get this over with as fast as I can. But if I have to choose
Yeah,
Magma or Aqua just based on which god they awaken, uh, Aqua because Kyogre's cool.
yeah. I'm personally a big fan of Kyogre, but I like Groudon more. And I'm not saying that's argue with you. I think that Groudon looks like a tyrant. Kyogre to me looks just like a harmless beast. Like if I felt like something could do some major damage, it's gonna be Groudon because he's so freaking
Rayquaza's
huge.
better than both though. Rayquaza. How do you
Yeah,
even say that?
Rayquaza.
So I've been saying
I just call it Rayquaza.
I've always called it Rayquaza, but I hear everybody saying Quaza, and I'm like, maybe I've been saying it wrong this entire time. So.
Jesus, though, like to get up to him though is
Oh, the
so like
Sky
tedious
Tower is
sometimes though.
annoying because you have to make sure you have the Mach Bike first of all, which is so hard to control.
Yeah, it's not that it's hard to control; it's the fact that you have to path
Yeah,
so
that's the
well,
problem.
and it's not easy to do, especially if you've only been
That's
through
what
it
I
one
mean
time.
when I say it's hard to control. Is that you have such narrow space to get
Hmm.
through that crumbling floor path. Is that it's like really, really difficult to control. Good night.
But yeah, to be fair though, Rayquaza. But you know what beats Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon though, right?
The Reggies.
Nope, Latios and Latias, bro.
Okay, I just got reminded of really the dumbest freaking thing I can remember. Did you ever see the fifth Pokemon movie?
Which one was it? Was it the one with
No,
Jirachi or
it was the
Deoxys?
one with no. That first off, Jirachi and Deoxys were the same one.
Oh, were
Yeah,
they?
it was.
No, because one was called Jirachi Wishmaker and the other was Destiny Deoxys.
Oh, you are right. Oh, you are right. Good job, my friend.
I don't know how I remember that, but I remember that right off the top of my head.
I don't even remember what the fifth one was called. I think it had something to do with being called Hero.
Groudon and
Heroes.
Kyogre.
It was Latios and Latias, and
Was it the Celebi
no,
movie?
it was after. It was the one after the Celebi movie. They were still in Johto,
So
but it was Latios, and Latias, and the Latias disguised itself as a human girl. So Ash got his first kiss by kissing a Latias. Like that
Jesus
is literally
Christ.
like Latias developed a legit crush on Ash. So that's literally
funny.
the only part of that. I think Latios died too. So I
Did he?
think I haven't seen that one in so long.
I was about to say Latias is the female and Latios is the male.
I prefer Lati.
I
I
thought
prefer
so.
Latios just because I think Os is a cooler like last syllable than As, and I like the color blue.
To be fair, when I think of their names, though, this is not meant to sound racist, but it makes me think of Mexican descent. Because people have names that end in AS if you're a female, OS if you're a male. That's honestly where I got that from the first time I ever seen it. I'm like, that makes me think of another language.
That might be the intention, actually.
It might be. I mean, I can't say for sure because I'm not.
I'm gonna be honest. I would not be surprised. But
Oh, but speaking of legendary, Jirachi, of course.
oh man, Jirachi. Like Jirachi
Jirachi's
was
cool.
another one that was like insanely hard to get. I think you had to.
Yeah, I remember my old buddies Tyler and Joe had one somehow. I don't remember how they said they got it.
I think
They
you had to do.
one. I think Tyler also had a
You had to do
Deoxys.
something with Coliseum. I remember all the rumors around Deoxys. Holy shit.
What were those? Because I've never even heard of how to get him.
Well, there are. Really, when I say all the rumors, I just mean the one. But I'm pretty sure there were multiple variations. Basically, you know the rocket in Moss Deep City? There was a rumor around that really I think it counts the little counter that goes on for the rocket.
Yeah.
I think that was a car. Like, holy shit, dude, that was loud as fuck.
Yeah, I live on a backroad street with rednecks. That happens
That's
a
fine.
lot.
It's happened before. I think that rocket actually counts like the number of hours you've been playing. But I remember the rumor being that if it got to a certain number, it would let you climb aboard the rocket and you'd go to the moon to fight Deoxys. And so
Really?
I really wanted to do that, and I didn't know how long. I didn't know, because the only way you can get Deoxys is Fire Red and Leaf Green, or maybe there's an event in Emerald 2 where you get some kind of pass to go to Birth Island. Is it Birth Island? I think it's Birth Island.
I don't remember, honestly.
I never did the event because, before there was Wi-Fi, there was actual events.
I was about to... Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't know how to do any of that stuff, so I was out.
Yeah, I never had a Deoxys. I did have a Jirachi. Not in Ruby and Sapphire, of course. I mean, Gen 6, I got one in Wonder Trade, and, whoo, boy, that Jirachi's fucking good. Jirachi is good.
He's a psychic,
Steel,
isn't he?
Steel
Flying
Psychic.
or something?
Psychic Steel. Yeah, so
really?
he's super
Steel.
powerful, dude. And he's got, I think it's Serene Grace.
So his defense is through the roof,
Oh,
then.
yeah, Yeah. And his special attack and attack is nothing to scoff at. Um,
Really?
I think his ability is Serene Grace, which increases the odds of
Mm-hmm.
like little things that can happen, like
Such as like
no,
weather.
not weather. Like, let's say flinch does a 30% chance of flinching, or headbutt
Yeah.
does a 30% chance of flinching. With Serene Grace, that's raised up to like 60%.
Jesus Christ.
It doubles it.
So it's
It
doubled.
doubles the
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So I guess if flamethrower had, I'm not sure if it works for all these moves with like little conditions. I guess if flamethrower has like a 15% chance to burn, then Serene Grace flamethrower is a 30% chance to burn. I guess I don't quite know. I don't even know if it's Serene Grace or if it's a different ability. I know Jirachi has some ability that does that
Mm-hmm.
though.
Hmm.
By the way, abilities. Big thing. Abilities and natures.
Yeah.
Big things added.
This is the Pokemon game, though, that introduced so much new stuff.
Big things. Oh, hello, controller. Thanks for falling. Big things added in Gen 3. Abilities and natures.
And don't forget double
Double
battles.
battles too. I don't really pay attention to natures. That's more of a competitive thing, and I don't do competitive battling.
Yeah.
Abilities, very, very important.
Yes, very. God. Freaking, what is that Pokemon? It's the fish. Scavana?
Carvana.
Carvana,
With rough
thank you.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd always hit that thing with, like, Scratch or something stupid, and it'd be like, oh, well, it touched its rough skin, so you take, like 20% damage, too. I'm like, oh.
I know, but that's what makes the battling actually interesting now. Is the thing? It's not just mindless.
It's not just you keep attacking. Like you actually have to plan it out
like
sometimes. Like depending on what the Pokemon is.
If you're not planning properly, like me when I first played Gen 3, freaking a Pokemon with Flame Body can really screw you up if you're not prepared, because you'll hit it with a physical attack.
Yeah.
And be like, wait, why am I burning?
Or like if you, oh man, the first Pokemon that ever got me though was an Electric.
Oh, it was static.
With its static skin. Oh my god.
Oh man,
Jesus.
static is one of those abilities that I love. And I actually mean that. I love it, because if you, in Gen 3 remake Fire Red and Leaf Green, Pikachu, man, you get that Pikachu, the AI is dumb. It'll always get paralyzed. You have literally no use for Thunder Wave.
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless, the opponent was actually smart.
But the opponent's never smart in
use
Gen 3.
physical attacks.
I mean, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, they're never smart.
I know.
I do like the changes that they made to static in Gen 6, though, where you can't paralyze a ground type or an electric type anymore. Yeah, I mean, that just makes so much
it makes
sense. I like that. I really do. But, abilities. There's actually one unused ability in Gen 3. And it was completely eliminated from the rest of the series after Gen 3, and it's called Cacophony. And it's basic.
Oh, I remember that beat. Isn't that a ghost
No,
hack
it's
thing?
basically soundproof, just with a different name. It's weird, because I don't know why they'd even do that. Like,
what does it do?
Well, soundproof. I think soundproof makes you immune to moves that revolve around sound, like screech or sing or something like that. So Cacophony is basically that, but with a different name. Like, there's literally no changes. It's
no clue.
And they completely removed it afterwards. So
no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. But Gen 3, man, I think Gen 3 still has the best graphics in in the entire series.
Well, I mean, because it's the newest.
Well, I mean, it's not. I can say that Gen 6 and 7's graphics aren't bad, but then again, for Pokemon, I've never really been into 3D or pseudo 3D for Gen 4 and 5. I've always liked the sprites, and so I think that I mean obviously Gen 8 on the Switch is going to blow everything out of the water. Like, there's no disputing that. But I think Gen 3, out of all the handheld Pokemons, which is all the main series so far, I think Gen 3...
We're about to see a big change with that one.
Gen 3 has the best graphics, because the 3D graphics in Sun and Moon and X and Y are good. They are pretty good, but I never really liked 3D in Pokemon. Call me insane, call me crazy, but that's where the cautious part of my cautiously optimistic would always come from, is that I never liked the 3D graphics.
Well, to be fair, though, I can appreciate, the
effort,
attention to detail on the battle scenes and the Pokemon and everything.
Absolutely.
Because, then...
I can appreciate the effort and the attention to detail that they made. It's just... Someone, for me, it's a personal gripe. It's not me saying that, they're awful. It's just like, I can't get into it, but it's hard to dispute that they're not good. They push the 3DS to their limits, and I do like that they push. I like it when games push their system to the limits, because that's when you know that.
Well, not just the 3DS though, not the new 3DS.
Oh yeah, they don't really push the. I haven't touched the new 3DS.
Isn't there one game coming out this year that's going to be for
Fire
that?
Emblem Warriors.
Is that what that was?
So.
Okay, because I remember the only other one was just Xenoblade.
Yeah. Well, really, Hyrule Warriors is unplayable on 3DS from what I've heard. So you have to have. It's pretty much unplayable on old 3DS. So you gotta pretty much play it on new 3DS. From what I've heard, at least.
Weird. I don't plan to get it on 3DS because I
don't plan to get it because I don't care.
I know you're not a big Muso guy.
Oh, what?
The series is called Muso in Japan, but it's basically Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, I'm not really that hack and slash beat 'em up kind of guy.
I was about to say, to be fair, I don't consider Dynasty Warriors or any of this game like a hack and slash. It's more like just a beat 'em up, just a massive 3D beat 'em up.
Really, on a technicality, wrestling games are beat 'em ups, and I love wrestling games. So
they're more fighting games to me, though. That's what they're supposed to be.
I always look at fighting game. When I think of fighting games, I don't think wrestling. I think freaking Street Fighter or Tekken or something like that.
I don't know, that's what I classify.
I think rounds, and I think health bars, and
technically, you have a health bar when you play the WWE games. Technically,
you are right. Really, though, wrestling really isn't beat 'em ups. They're more like wrestling games. They're not beat 'em ups.
I mean, duh. That's what they are. World Wrestling Entertainment, sir.
Excuse me. The only one I acknowledge is World Wrestling Federation. Excuse me.
Isn't that the one for the N64?
The joke is that they're the same thing. It's just that they started calling it WWE because the World Wildlife Fund.
2K something.
No, back in 2002, the World Wildlife Fund was suing the WWF over the WWF name. So the WWF changed it to WWE, but I like the WWF more than the WWE. So
I wouldn't know anything about it because I don't watch that stuff
Oh
anymore.
man, there are so not from WWE, but there are so many hilarious things that I have to show you from indie wrestling.
Like, I've heard the WWE is going
Yes.
down the drain.
Imagine WCW from like 99, 2000. And
Yeah.
WWE's not quite that bad. That's TNA, but we're getting there.
Like, what happened to John Cena? Like, I'm gonna go off topic here because I want to know what happened to John Cena, anyways.
Nothing really happened to John Cena. He's getting old.
I heard he
He didn't
quit or
quit. He's
something.
just showing up less and less. He's becoming a part timer and stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
Because for wrestling, he's old. He's 37, and he's been wrestling. He's
Wow,
been
he is
wrestling
old.
since. He's been in the WWE since 2002. I think he was wrestling a few years before that too. So let's just say he's been going for 20
Yeah.
years. Let's just say. So
To be fair, though, like Ric Flair, who finally retired like a million years ago, was still doing that dumb crap.
I think the Undertaker finally retired this year. I think, because I'm not actually
Yeah,
sure.
no, that was
No, it was
last
this
year.
Because WrestleMania. No,
I
because
thought it was last
WrestleMania
year.
33 was what I hope and what I think was his last match. Because, well, I mean,
Yeah.
they had the perfect send off, and if they make Undertaker wrestle one more match, I'm gonna be pissed off. Because what they did was they had him lose to Roman Reigns, and nobody likes Roman Reigns. I'm not gonna get on that tangent, but what they did was they had Undertaker leave his gear in the middle of the ring, like his gloves, his hat, his coat, everything, and just walk up like halfway
Yeah.
up the stage because that fucking ramp was long at WrestleMania. It was like 100 yards at
Oh yeah.
WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
And he did his arm pose and just like went down the stage like he usually does, like that kind of thing. And that's the perfect send off. And I mean, he's been wrestling for like 30 years. Come on, give him let him
Yeah.
go. Come
That's.
on.
Mm,
But that's
yeah, he's getting pretty old.
that is a discussion probably not for another day.
Yeah, considering that I don't watch it, that's not something I'm really willing to
But
discuss.
there is one thing I do have to link you to from indie wrestling that's just fucking hilarious. And if you don't laugh, I'm gonna be pissed off.
I mean, we can totally do that
Yeah.
afterwards, or maybe
Or
tomorrow
we can
or
just
something.
do it on Rabbit, and I'll show and I'll like tell
Yeah.
you what it is, and I'll show you or I'll link it.
Yeah. Alright, that sounds good. But back to Pokemon
games.
now. We're
We
We're
are
almost
almost
done.
We still have to talk about.
um
We did kind of talk about memories with Gen 3.
yeah,
We've
basically
kind
that's
of
what we
talked
did.
about.
Like the only thing I didn't mention was my favorite
What's your
moment.
favorite moment?
My favorite moment in the entire game was fighting the Reggies. I thought that they were very interesting with their puzzles.
Oh yeah, they're fucking Braille puzzles that took me forever to figure out.
Exactly.
I found out the
man.
manuals for Gen 3 had a whole fucking Braille alphabet included in it.
Exactly.
So I didn't have the manual. Emerald was one of the only games I didn't have the manual for back then, so I didn't fucking know. And so I guess we can talk about favorite Pokemon now. And now this is where you talk about teams, because I talked about teams in Gen 1, and you said you were going to do it for 3, so go ahead.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, I want to get my favorites out there, though. It's every Pokemon ever. I'm just kidding. My favorite ones are, number one is Skarmory. I love Skarmory. I think it's a generic Pokemon just given a cool look.
You like Scar? You like Scar? You like to use Skarmory a lot in Gen 3?
I actually do like to use Skarmory
Where
in
can
Gen
you
3.
where
I
can
think
you
it's
catch
a good Pokemon.
Skarmory in Gen 3? I can't remember ever encountering one.
In the Ash Fields,
That's
where you collect
damn.
the ash.
I wish I knew that. Because I like Skarmory
Yep.
too, actually.
Yep. And then where they started doing the exclusive Pokemon for the games, for the wild captures, I'm pretty sure they started doing it for these, right?
Wait, exclusive Pokemon like in each version? No, that's been
Yeah.
there since the beginning.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I'm stupid. Solrock. I love Solrock. I think he's also pretty unique in how they drew him. He looks like a artifact from like Egypt or some weird shit. um, the last and final Pokemon, of course, is Groudon because I think he looks like a tyrant.
Yeah, you did say that, actually.
And then I'm just gonna throw a fourth one in there just because it's the biggest ever. Is Wailord.
Hot Wailord on Skitty action.
Give me yours since we're already on this. What's your favorites?
This goes hand in hand. What's your favorite starter in Gen 3?
Torchic.
But I thought you liked Mudkips.
I do, but my favorite one to start off with is Torchic.
I think Gen 3.
Dude, Blaziken is so overpowered.
I think Gen 3.
But so is Marsh Tom.
I think Gen 3 has the best overall starters in the series. Because it's not like Gen 1 where it's insanely hard to use Charmander, or Gen 2 where it's insanely hard to use Chikorita. You can easily use all three of these in a playthrough, and that's what I like about it. But my vote goes to Mudkip. Swampert,
yeah.
bro.
I was about to say, to be fair, Swampert, though, has the immunity to electricity thanks to its ability.
Well, not just its ability, it's water ground, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's overall probably the best starter, but I'd still go with Torchic.
I think I'll have to find it later. Never mind. Not important. So my three favorites are Absol. Because Absol's the first time I ran into that motherfucker, I was like, holy shit.
You're like, I gotta get this wolf creature.
Get this thing. It looks so sick. And now every time I catch an Absol, I always name it one of two things: Reaper or M Shadows.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Shadows, boy.
Look at us copying off our favorite bands here.
Not my favorite band.
I know. I know.
It's my second favorite
there, I'm sure.
Band. I've fallen in love with Our Lady Peace, but they still don't beat a 7X or MCR. I heard that.
Yeah. No, I burped, and so I.
Oh, shit, you did. Okay. Second is Swampert, because do you even lift, bro? Third is Rayquaza, because it's a fucking Rayquaza, bro. And fourth is Swellow, because Swellow is like my favorite bird.
Yeah. So one I forgot, but I'm not changing, is Aggron.
Oh, Aggron, man. I've never actually used an Aggron in-game, but holy shit.
Aggron and Metagross,
dude. Metagross
is awesome.
So good. Like, he's so hard to get, though, because of the fucking Beldum you have to raise, and, like, it only knows takedown.
Yeah, I know. Takes forever to get a Metagross, but it's so worth it because this moveset's actually pretty decent from what I remember.
So, are there any Pokemon in Gen 3 that you don't like? Because I can only name a few, actually.
Love this.
The most useless. Even Magikarp has a use.
Exactly. It doesn't really evolve into anything, just a bigger heart.
What bothered me was, I think it was Gen 5 5. And hello. Oh my goodness. That was very nice of you. Thank you. I just got wireless headphones from. Yeah, that was really freaking nice. We're gonna have to test these out later. What was I saying though? I think Gen 5 introduced you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't actually.
Alomamola, I think its name is. And I swear it looks like it'd be the perfect evolution for Love Disc. Guess what it's not?
Would it?
An evolution of Love Disc. Like, I swear it looks like it's an evolution of Love Disc. Like, I don't know how to fucking spell its name. It's, it's spelled the same way backwards as it is forward, so I think it's Alomamola. Like, that's ALOMOMOLA, I think.
Yeah.
And it looks like an evolution of Love Disc. And it bothers me that it's not.
Oh, another one I do not care for at all is Makuhita.
Yeah, I never quite cared for Makuhita either. Feebas, I don't know what hate. Like, Milotic is so good, but it's just so much effort.
Tailo.
Hey, I love Swellow, so I love Tailo too.
Oh, Jesus, what? I forgot another good one. Bagon.
Oh, yes, Salamence. Oh, my God. How... See, you're reminding me of all the good Pokemon. Frickin'... But no, back on my tangent. I love Milotic. I love Milotic to death. But the reason it's not even close to one of my favorite in Gen 3 is because it's so much effort to get a Feebas and evolve it into a frickin' Milotic that it's not worth it, because it's not like Magikarp where you can easily catch one and then just get it to evolve. No, you can only find it on like one route, on like one specific tile that's completely random, and then you have to max out its beauty stat.
Oh, gee, no, that's where the thing comes in.
Like, I guess you level it up and it evolves into fucking Milotic, and I'm like, alright, but that's a waste of time.
I could not remember a Milotic at all, so I'm like, I have to look this up, and I remember that.
Milotic's beautiful. I love Milotic. It's a fantastic Pokemon. But yeah, it's so, in Gen really 3, it's so not worth it. Like, you can get, like, I think after Gen 4, I think they kept it in Gen 4. So I think starting in Gen 5, all you have to do to get a Milotic is just trade Feebas holding a Prism Scale. Like, that is perfect, and that makes it so much easier to get Milotic, and it really makes you realize just how good Milotic really is. Because Milotic's good. Milotic's really good. Another one I don't really care for is Spheal and Walrein and all that. Snorunt and Glalie. Don't really care for them. Yeah. I think out of the 3 Regirock's my least favorite, but then again, that's because it's rock.
Best say, out of all of them, Regirock was also my least favorite. I was bigger on
personally, I like Regice more because I thought it had a really cool cry.
I'd have to play the game again, honestly.
You didn't react to the pun, Drew. Damn it! You were supposed to. That's why I did the whole thing anyway. But no, Regice's cry just like sounds like. like that is awful, and I'm gonna even see if I can even find it on YouTube, because if I can, I'm just gonna tell you to look up Reggie Ice's Cry, which by the way,
They'll say you can probably find it on
I have
Cerebi.
no idea how to pronounce Red. Is it Reg Ice or Reggie Ice? I don't care. I don't care.
Reg
I call
Ice.
it Reggie Ice. I love Reggie. I love its cry so
Gen
much.
3 Cry.
Yeah, you can just find it on YouTube if you look up Reggie Ice Cry. Oh, that cry's so cool.
Oh, I heard it.
I'm listening again.
Sounds like a burp. Like an 8-bit
man, now
burp.
I gotta look up the other cries too. Reggie Rock.
Like, even this game has the best cave
Reggie
theme.
Rock's cry still sucks. But let's see about Reggie Steel. Because so far, Reggie Ice has the best cry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's pretty fucking cool. I think Reggie Ice still wins, though. All the Reggie's cries. So I get to hear, like, the Reggie Gigas cry, too. Holy shit.
So I've got my team assembled, bro.
I'm listening to this shit in the anime. Holy fuck, Reggie Ice is weird. They actually have legit cries in the anime. It's so weird. Oh yeah, this is the movie.
Well, they have a movie specifically for Reggie's?
If I remember right, this is Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. They just happen to show up.
Oh.
They happen to be...
So, hold on. What is Lucario? Is that a legendary or what?
No, it's not.
Because Lucario is apparently like a huge fan favorite.
Okay, that was cool, but Lucario is the evolution of Riolu. You can get a Rio.
Like, what's the deal with those?
I have no idea. I know you can get a Riolu in Gen 4 from the one guy who gives you an egg on the one island. And then you can evolve it through happiness to Lucario. Like, look, trust me, I thought Lucario was a legendary too. I really did.
Well, like, people hyped it up super hard.
Before Gen 4 even...
And then also something else that made me think differently about it too was he's also
before
in Smash.
Gen 4 even came out, here's a fun thing you may not have noticed. In Pokemon Advanced Battles intro, like the intro sequence, you can see Lucario and a Weavile. Before Gen 4 even comes out, so... I
thought Weavile was in Gen 3.
So, of course, I see these fuckers, and I'm like, what is this? Are these going to be legendaries in the new Pokemon game? Because, I mean, trust me, I thought, well, no, I didn't think it, because by that point I already knew what Meryl was because of Gen 2 before I started watching the anime, but I'm pretty sure if I was a kid before, I would have thought Meryl was a legendary. And I thought Lucario and frickin' Weavile were legendaries. They were hyping the hell out of Lucario, which is why I thought Lucario, like, yeah, but man, I was disappointed to find out he wasn't a legendary, but I was also really happy to find out he was just so good. Steel fighting, holy crap, man. Like, ever since Gen 4, like, when I play, like, Gen 5 or Gen 6 or... I didn't even get that far in 7, so... I've always had a Lucario on my team when I can get a Lucario. Because he's probably one of my all-time favorites. He's, like, probably number 5 or 3. Espeon's number 1, Absol's number 2, and then everything else is whatever the fuck I feel like. Yeah. But, yeah, so... I don't think we need to actually go through any of these dumb final thoughts questions that I had. Except the one.
Yeah, I didn't
Except
think
the
we needed
one.
to either.
Which gen is best and which is
Which
worst.
gen is the best and which
I
is the
think we can
worst?
both unanimously agree out of these three, Gen 1 is the worst.
Yeah.
But now it...
However, we're going to disagree on which one's the best.
The difference is that it's not a blood feud that I think one is clearly superior, that we think one is clearly superior over the other, because I think they're neck and neck. I think I'm just more fond of 8-bit, which is what pushes it over for me. I feel like if they were made in the same style, I think Gen 3 would be better. But I think I'm more fond of 8-bit, so that pushes me. Because I'd be stupid to say Gen 2 is a better game than Gen 3. It's how I've explained my love of Persona 3 over 4 to you. I think Persona 4 is the better game. I think Persona 3 is the better experience. And so I think Gen 2 is the better experience, while Gen 3 is the better game. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys out here listening to this, but...
I say it made sense to me. It's just kind of the opposite with me with Gen 3, what you said for 2.
Oh, you think the other way around?
I do, actually. I honestly think...
Oh, well, that's perfectly fine, you know? Like I said, I don't think that 2 is overly clearly superior than 3. I just think I'm more fond of 8-bit Pokemon, so... Really, I think it's the music that pushes it over to me.
Yeah, the music definitely helps with it, except the battle music. I'm still not a huge fan of Pokemon battle music.
I mean, when you've been spoiled by some great RPG battle themes.
The only songs I normally don't get tired of are Personas, and that's because for Persona 4, the battle theme gets, like, a little weirder every time. Not every time, but, like, come every dungeon.
Wait, it does?
Did you not notice that? It does. It gets, like, not more instrumental, but it sounds more faded at a certain point in the game. Like, the farther you get in the game, I'm pretty sure the battle theme fades.
Well, that's going to be something I'm going to have to figure out.
Because that's why there's like 50 different versions of it on the OST.
There are only 3 that I know of. There's the...
Oh god, the one I have has like 50 different versions.
There's the actual battle theme, there's the first battle theme, and then there's the instrumental battle theme, which isn't instrumental at all, actually.
Yeah, hold on, let me look in this folder, because I have it here on this computer instead of on my thing. Where are you? Needs a download.
Oh, I wish I had a micro SD card, because I really want to get, like, now that I have internet, I really want to get the Persona 5 soundtrack and just put it on my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Let's see here. The song is called Reach Out to the Truth. So here's the first one. Let's see here. There's another one. That's 2.
Are you listening to all these? Because I can't hear them.
There's a third one.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not listening to them.
I want to hear them.
Okay, no, there's like 3. There's 3 of them. No, I mean there's 3 versions of Reach Out to the Truth.
That's what I said.
But those are different songs.
Yeah, there's the regular one, then there's the instrumental of that version, and then there's the theme you hear for the first battle. But they're all Reach Out to the Truth, they're just different versions of Reach Out to the Truth.
Maybe I didn't hear you right then. Because I swore I heard the song getting a little misshapen as I kept going. Also, Electronica in the Velvet Room. I hate that.
Oh, we can talk. We can talk about what songs you like and don't like if we ever do another Personacast.
Blues in the Velvet Room is.
We all know that the Persona 2 version of the Velvet Room is the superior Velvet Room theme song, and we all know. And we all know that Mass Destruction is the superior battle theme.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, that came as a surprise.
It's a good song, but it's not the best. We're probably gonna debate about this until the day we die.
Destruction, I say.
Babby, 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 babby. Yeah.
You did it wrong, damn it. And we all know that Burn My Dread. I fucked it up. Burn My Bread is superior to Wake Up, Get Out There.
No.
Okay. But Kimi no Kyoku is better than whatever the ending theme of 5 is, because I haven't heard it yet. Yeah.
Oh, the ending theme? Oh, it is a little better.
Told you.
Because it's like a pop rap song, basically.
Well, I don't even need to listen to it then to know that it. Have you heard Persona 4's ending theme,
like,
though? I think it's.
I
think it's better than.
It's really good.
Kyoku, but we can talk about that after we end the podcast. Because.
Yeah, we should probably end that.
The podcast is coming to an end. This has been a very, very good 3 hours of excitement.
Yep, 3 hours and 11
minutes of Pokemon. Lots of Pokemon.
Lots and lots of the Pokemon.
Recounting final thoughts. I think Gen 2 is the best only by a slight margin. You think Gen 3 is the best, and we both agree that Gen 1 is not the best.
It's not that it's bad, it's just the weakest when we're counting down to 3.
It's definitely the weakest. It's once you realize just how broken the battle mechanics really are, you can't stop thinking about them. Like, I've never...
Yeah, because it's basically you just want attacks that will do abnormal amounts of damage and will also sometimes have a side effect such as paralyze or
Well, here's
burn.
another thing that I never pointed out and I just got reminded of. Critical hits are weird in Gen 1. They're determined on your speed. Yeah, so if you get a super fast Pokemon, you'll get critical hits a lot. Yeah,
that is weird.
And there are some moves that have a super high critical hit ratio anyway, like Karate Chop.
Yeah.
And Slash.
Yeah.
And here's another one: if you use Furious Swipes or Horn Attack or something, 2 to 5 hit turn moves. In Gen 1, if one hit gets a critical hit, they all get critical hits. Yeah.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, once you start realizing the shit, you can never play Gen 1 the same again. Like, I'm not even talking about the glitches you can do, because again, you have to know how to do those just the battle set. There's so many more things that I didn't even remember until just now. There's so many things I didn't name. X accuracy is broken. If you activate an X accuracy, like, all your moves become like super accurate, including freaking one-hit KO moves. Focus energy lowers your critical hit rate instead of increases it.
Amazing.
They fixed it in Gen 2, and with the battle mechanics, I don't see how they missed any of this shit. Like I said, the glitches, the missing the Safari Zone, You have to you have to go out of your way to do that. I can see them missing that. The battle mechanics, how do you miss that?
Yeah, well, it's probably the thing. They probably didn't have enough resources to maybe do away with like new Pokemon and stuff like that. They wanted to go ahead and make Gen 2. Because normally because those games are released first in Japan all the time.
Oh, there were a shit ton.
What I think of is whenever they make the game, it's 100% ready to ship. They have it obviously held up and they have to ship it. It gets shipped to all those stores within about a week to 2 weeks before it's able to be released. So the game's normally done almost probably about maybe a month or two before the game comes out in the first country that it's going to come out in. So I would say about maybe 3 or 4 months before like the game comes out. That's probably when they're making the other one. So they probably already had other assets for the second generation of Pokemon. That's how I'm thinking about it.
For as broken as American Gen 1 is, Japanese Red and Green were even worse. Like I'm not talking about the sprites. We all know the sprites. Japanese Red and Green were glitchy as fuck.
I wouldn't know.
Oh no, I've never actually played Japanese Red or Green. I've done a lot of reading on Bulbapedia though.
Wasn't the green version the one that was horribly translated?
Yeah, green. Yeah, they did that translation that was like awful. It's Pokemon English Green.
I'll say that's why it doesn't. That's probably why it didn't come out in America, anyways. The only problem.
Well, no, that was a bootleg ROM hack, anyways. Yeah, no. Oh, something was that was actually. No,
I thought that was like an official
thing.
Actually
released in like China was Vietnamese Crystal. Hey, don't you ugh that? That is an amazing translation. Don't you ugh it. Welcome to Elf's World.
Ugh.
And Volcano Bake Me. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I guess that's it for the podcast.
Man. 3 hours and 16 minutes of
shorter than
last time. And this time I'll actually be able to freaking edit and upload it. Huzzah, right there, man. So.
Yeah, Mason. Let's hope nothing goes wrong this time, buddy.
Don't you fucking say a goddamn thing. Because if something goes wrong, guess whose fault it is? No, it's yours now that you said it. And just for that, I'm going to send you my shit just in fucking case.
I was about to say, you should probably send me your shit.
Just in fucking case.
I'm going to go ahead and stop my...
Thank you guys so much for watching.